Oh, I got you yawning. All right, I got you yawning. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Rooks. It's Wednesday, the 28th. My name is Vic,
I'm Xavier.
and today we got some big news coming in from pretty much, no, not pretty much all the league. Two of the three major leagues in sports ball. Um, One being congrats to the LA Dodgers, and they won in 6 games. They broke their 30-plus-year-old drought, and Corey Seager was named MVP. Take the
Which,
floor.
thank God,
Floor.
thank God, thank God. I did not want Mookie Betts because I did not want to explain to people how we were going to figure out how to either give everyone something or do a random draw. And I don't know if they would have got mad because we didn't explain that early on in our contest. So,
Yeah, I felt like
I'm like, oh, thank
we
God.
found a loophole away.
For a cool second, I was like, if it goes to 7, no one wins anything. no one wins anything except for if the Rays would have won. Some guy in the group message went with the Rosarena, which probably would have been the MVP anyways if they won.
Yeah.
Yes, congrats to the Dodgers. Uh, Good for them. Good for Kershaw. Finally, Kershaw has that one ring, so now we don't have to worry about that. Kevin Cash, I don't know. I understand. I get it. I get it. Like, don't get me wrong. That's how he's always been doing that. And if we didn't have Cash as our manager, there's no way in hell we would even get this far. So you have to respect him for that, for what he does with the analytics, everything like that. But it's very hard to justify pulling Snell. Dodgers couldn't hit him for shit. No one could.
Mm-hmm.
And the hits he did give up were not very good hits. They just got lucky. Honestly, Austin Barnes really got lucky on his. So, and Snell even said so in his press conference, being like, good for him. He beat me. I left that pitch up there.
Yeah.
But for Nick Anderson, like, bring in Nick Anderson, who at that point made 6 straight relief appearances by giving up 1 run. So why would you want to go with him, especially in a crucial moment like that? I would have been. I wish he would have won Diego Castillo, probably the better bet. Maybe even who was because it was going to go because Seager ended up bringing in that run. Shoot, Ryan Sheriff and Ryan Thompson even were doing pretty good in their limited appearances against the Dodgers this postseason. I would have been fine probably with one of those guys. But it works out 95% of the time, and that's 5% it doesn't. And this was one of those times it didn't work out. Dodger fans know how it feels. I've seen this for years and years with Dave Roberts doing it to Kershaw, Bueller, whoever it is. So now, it happened to us. Like I said, I have nothing else really to say about that. You're not going to win when you only score 1 run. Rosarena can't do it himself, but it's still pretty damn impressive for us to even push it this far with only really a Rosarena fighting off the Dodgers. It was a Rosarena versus LA, basically.
It was.
When you really think about it, it was. Because Adames couldn't hit, Joey Wendell couldn't. But the one thing that they do help us in is their defense. They're great defensively. And that's how we're going to win. We're going to win by pitching and defense. Pitching and defense. And obviously the stable couldn't close out the Dodgers. Dodgers, had a ridiculous stat line where it was like, they've gotten, I forgot how many runs off of, 2 strike counts with 2 outs in an inning. We just couldn't finish them off. And it was just very annoying to deal with that. Like I said, I give credit to LA. LA was the better team this year. I guess it was just destined for them with all the crap they had to deal with recently. Yeah, but at the same time, it sucked. It did, but I like how our front office set up our future and our present. We have some young studs. A full season of Rosarena is going to be amazing. I know all of baseball is going to find that awesome. Hopefully he comes out of the gate running. Doesn't have a huge slump or anything like that. Potentially could be, we just seen a star in the making be born in Tampa. And the crazy thing is only 25. So we're going to have him controlled for a long, long time. So thank you, Cardinals, for that. I feel bad for them because, Luke Voigt and Rosarena.
Luke Voigt, yeah.
We just need a better catcher. Obviously, Zanino's not cutting it out. Defensively, great catcher. But for what we were paying him, I think around like 4 mil for him not to even get a hit. And I saw a lot of the guys too in the group message being like, I guarantee Zanino probably won't even hit above 250 in AAA. And I'm like, I honestly believe that. He probably won't.
Mhm.
Austin Meadows, quiet. Yoshi Tomo Sasugo, quiet. Wendell, quiet. Adamas, an embarrassment, really. If he didn't have the glove, he
He
wouldn't. He
disappeared.
shouldn't have. He shouldn't have even been on that, like that series
Spot,
roster.
that's
But I
lineup
get
spot.
it,
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, it could just be the Yips. Their first time being in the World Series last year. They made it to the AL.
Yeah.
It was just the
The
ALCS.
DS.
No, it was CS because Astros went on to face, I think, the Yankees. Yeah, ALCS. We lost in the first round because it was the best out of 5.
ALCS is a championship series.
ALDS, my bad. ALDS. I always get them mixed up.
Yeah.
So just thinking of from where we went to like a 5-game series, going all the way to the World Series, basically a big jump for the young guys.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm not fully, pissed at how some of them perform.
It's okay. It's okay to be, frustrated and disappointed. I get you.
Yeah, it is. Like, don't get me wrong, but like I said, at the same time, I understand. I get it. I don't know how I would have been. I probably wouldn't have got a hit if I was even in their shoes, because it's such a
Mhm.
big stage. And then going over there to Texas, where the Dodgers hit more home runs than their own than the Rangers. So it's basically like another home another home field
They
advantage
did.
for the Dodgers.
Yeah, they played
So
in it
it's
for
just
a
like,
while. Yeah.
yeah. So basically, you have to factor in that. You have to factor in everything like that. So it was like a home field advantage for sure for the Dodgers during the World
Mhm.
Series, for sure. Just with some of the young guys, I get it. Glass now, I pray to God, Glass now just had the yips, whatever. World Series, his second time being in the postseason. I'll let it slide. I just hope he doesn't go down the path of Clayton Kershaw, which we all know how he is dominant during the regular season, come postseason struggle, except for this year, obviously. He just flipped
Yeah.
the script and turned it around. And I'll bring up something that a lot of people are bringing up too, a little more down the road. But like I said, I'm very proud of the team. It sucks, 2 wins away. Better than what we than our first time being in the World Series in '08, where we lost in 5. Only got 1 game off of the Phillies when they had Chase Utley, Jimmy Rollins, vintage Cole Hamels. So I'm proud at that we were able to extend it a little more. Um, I'm proud of how we fought throughout the whole series. Brett Phillips is now goes down in lore and
Like
raised
a
lore as one of
statue.
the
Now has
he
a
probably
statue being built outside.
everyone loves him. A homegrown kid too. Great guy. And the cool thing is everyone's really going to be staying around. The only free
Yeah.
agent we really have is Aaron Loop and potentially Mike Zunino. We'll probably bring Zunino back at a pretty reasonable price. I would say nothing more than $1 million, and $1 million might be pushing it. I would say maybe even 850,000 is his range for give him 1 more year. Thank you to Charlie Morton. I don't know if he's going to come back, but you could tell with him coming to the organization, helping Snell, helping Glass now develop more, and understanding the postseason. Because besides that one game, besides Game 3, Charlie Morton has pitched phenomenal for us throughout the postseason in his 2 years there. So
Mhm.
I just want to thank all of them, and very proud, and I hope, and I think so too. A lot of people have told me too. Like I said, the main thing is obviously win a championship, but I wanted us to win it if we did win it, or if we did lose, which happened, was to get the respect of all LA fans, especially the LA fans, because they thought it was gonna be a cakewalk, and open the eyes to the sporting world that there's a team in Tampa that's actually really good and kept up with the Dodgers, and especially with the difference in how much money each team has tied into
Yeah.
players, from us with 45 million to the Dodgers being 200 plus million. Pretty impressive.
Uh-huh.
But to an
It's
extent,
very impressive.
money ball can only get you so far. It can only get you so far.
Yes.
So this is the part where now it's going to be in Stu's our owner Stu Steinberg. What are you going to do? How are you going to match us? You need to
I need to
improve the
better this
team.
team. Yeah.
We know what we need to improve on. Maybe a veteran bullpen arm to help out with some of the younger guys. A catcher who can hit over 200. Fuck, 200 at least. Even
Give me some.
a reliable right-handed bat. A reliable one. We didn't go out during the trade deadline. That that tend to hurt us because we probably could have used that against Kershaw, Urias, and some of the other Dodger pitchers. So it's just gonna really be in his ballpark, and
It's
I know a
literally
lot
in
of
his
people.
ballpark.
I know a lot of people are gonna be like, they should fire Cash. Don't fire Cash. I really think Cash will be able to talk to Snell, so don't trade Snell. If there's a way, keep Snell. Make Snell. I want him to retire in a Rays jersey. You have to, especially the way he performed this postseason. Yeah. So Stu, just please improve the team. We already are so close, especially with not spending as much money. We had the third lowest payroll in all of baseball.
And not to mention those other two teams are garbage.
Yes. So it's just like, you just have to give a little bit more. And if I don't know if that's going after Trevor Bauer, if Nicholas Castellanos opts out, going after him, if JD Martinez decides not to stay with the Red Sox, going after him, Marcell Ozuna, the list could go on and on and on. We could even go Marcus Semien as a shortstop potentially. Maybe put Adames more towards third. He has the arm strength. He's pretty kind of big too, so he could probably go ahead and play third. But then also, Semien potentially blocks the great phenom that everyone is waiting for, Wander Franco. And the crazy thing is, if we're able to force a Game 7, depending on how everything went with COVID, maybe we could have saw Wander in Game 7. We could have. Maybe we could have seen him. We could have seen how he was gonna, be able to handle the lights, and against one of the best team in all of baseball, in the Dodgers. Obviously, they get that title because they did win. So yeah, there's a lot of what ifs, but I'm proud of what we were able to do with this. From the managers, the coaching staff, everyone. I'm proud to say I'm a Rays fan, and Dodgers, congrats. Don't destroy the city, please. And don't think that this is the last time you're going to see us, because I guarantee at least one or two more times we're going to have this rematch in this next decade. So that's all I have to say about that. I could see us going against them. Hopefully we got Snell on our side, because if Snell's not on our side, I don't know. he'll shut us down, probably throw a perfect game against us. But yeah, the future looks bright. And like I said, thank you to the organization. Thank you to everyone for setting us up for a bright, future, and also being able to compete now in the present. So Trevor Bauer power. Come down to Tampa. You don't got to pay taxes. You could be the ace. We got one of the best farm systems. We have a young stud in the making in Randy Arozarena. You have the top defense behind you. I don't know how else I can pitch it to you, dude. That looks like, if I was him, I would really, really consider the Rays, and especially too. I know he hates the Yankees. He hates the Yankees with a passion. No, he hates the Astros. I know he's being upfront and being real about it and being like, oh yeah, I'm open to joining any team.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure those two teams are more down on his list, and he looks like a guy that doesn't want to go to a big market team really as much, and just be like, oh, you only won because you have the Yankees offense, or you have this, or you have that. He looks like a guy that's like, I want to prove it. I'm going to go somewhere else, prove it, win with this Tampa team. Maybe I'm the missing piece, but I still think we are a couple pieces away. Wander, I think, is going to be a big piece for us. And, some of the younger guys, I think so too. I could see Brendan McKay making a big impact, Shane McClanahan. So, and I think Honeywell also make an impact for this team. But like I said, hands down, thank you. And I appreciate everything they did for the season. And yeah, and it was an amazing World Series. Wish it would have went 7. Who knows if we would have went 7 due to the whole thing with Justin Turner. Maybe they postponed the game a week or a few more days, and maybe Blake Snell goes out there and dominates Game 7.
Probably the
Maybe
wildest turn of events.
in an alternative universe, that probably happened, and the Rays are champions in another universe, another timeline. But the timeline I live in, LA won.
This universe sucks. Is that what you're saying?
This universe sucks. Basically, 2020 is fucking 2020 is horrible. But hey, Timberwolves got the number 1 pick, so if we could turn that to Devin Booker, I guess
Falcons
2020
have
is
a
not
good
that
shot
bad.
of winning. Have a good shot of getting a Fields or Penei Sewell. So that's another thing to be happy that bad things are happening to your team right now.
Yeah, so I'm like, things could be worse. I could be a Mariner fan and not see the playoffs.
Yikes.
I was gonna say that too, and especially in the group message when you guys were like, the good thing is every year everyone has a chance to make a run for the championship. I'm like, not the Mariners. No, Mariners are just trying to get in the playoffs, and they couldn't even get in the playoffs when they extended it. So are the Angels, but I didn't want to say anything about the Angels. But yeah, it was awesome experience. Not gonna lie, I cried like a baby after.
I bet you did.
My dog had to come in here and like be like, "What's wrong?" He was probably thinking something drastically happened. And a bright spot too. I was able to convert 2 of my little baby cousins to Rays fans, and they got emotional too when they lost. And I'm like, "Oh, that's great!" So I know what I'm getting them for Christmas. And get them a Snail jersey.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, go ahead. I know it was a long take.
No, I know it's okay. You're a Rays fan. I gave you all the time in the world. Okay, so I'm just gonna go off some pretty some stats and some things that that came about in. First of all, it's Corey Seager. He was the MVP. He was on fire. Besides, if Rosarena did not exist, this series would have probably been done in honestly 4.
Mm-hmm.
So Corey Seager averaged 400 in the World Series, had a 556 on base percentage, and an OPS of 1,256. 7 runs, 2 home runs, and 5 ribs throughout the World Series. He was on a complete tear, and it's almost, I wouldn't say he could help lift the Dodgers or carry the Dodgers into winning position, stuff like that. Mookie got on base. I believe he was very underrated in this postseason. He didn't do the sexy. Yeah, he had the dagger home run in Game 6, but he did all the things that he needed to do on defense. He got on base and he stole bases. That's all. Mookie's worth the money and more if he does that. He did not hit as well as a lot of people expected him to, but he did get on base, and that's all you need to do to win games. Another way to show that getting on base is the walking and stealing, getting a scoring mission is the best thing that could happen to you. Another thing, the biggest controversial thing last night was Kevin Cash pulled Snell when he was dominating the opposing Dodgers. Was it through 7? No, through 6 or through 7? Through 7, right? I'm pretty sure it's through 7. It is through 7. 6. A lot of people look at, Kevin Cash is one that looks at analytics. He always makes the right moves during the regular season. I believe he still is mindful of analytics, sabermetrics, and the odds, to have the odds in his favor at all times. I believe bringing in Nick Anderson was not the best move, though. So one thing's for certain that Kevin Cash was criticized, and it was taking him out. So a lot of people bring in the idea that going through that third time through the lineup kind of thing, and I kind of get that. One thing's for certain is that Blake Snell's curve velocity kind of was a roller coaster, and then it kind of dipped down in the 6th, as well as his fastball. He was up, he had very good control of his fastball. He threw very hard, but in the later innings, he started to wear down. So that's that. But also, odds are not in anybody's favor 3 times through anyone's lineup. And let me just name the average MLB starters times through lineup. So the first time through a lineup, Average MLB starters average 3.92 ERA, 3.11 weighted on base average, 23% Ks, 5.15 FIP. Second time, it grows exponentially. 4.64 ERA, 3.26 weighted on base average, less K percentage at 20, 4.53 FIP. Third time through the lineup, it's absolutely horrendous. It's 5.61 ERA, 3.38 weighted on base average, 19% K, 4.85 FIP, almost a 5. It's absolutely ridiculous. So numbers are not in anybody's favor of any starter going through not only regular season, but in the biggest stage of them all, the World Series. So you could push for defense for Kevin Cash of making the right move. I believe he always picks the safest one. If you were to ask me whether he made the right move or not, I'm not entirely sure. He had a 2-hitter going through. He was absolutely dominating, wiping people out. People had multiple Ks. The heart of the lineup had multiple Ks. So when you look at that, sometimes you just got to push away some numbers because, as you could tell, Blake Snell was just dealing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just can't look at a computer and be like, okay, he's gonna wear out soon. He was just dominating.
At that point, just let him pitch, and if he gives up the tying run, then pull him out.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was just thinking. And you got to be able to trust your guy, because you could just tell during his post game, he threw shots at Kevin Cash, being like, "You got to trust me." I was adjusting, and he's a smart guy. He's a smart player. He knows how to adjust on the fly. He was adjusting. Going off of those numbers. Obviously, the second he went through the lineup at least 2 times. So you got to trust your ace, and especially win or go home. That's where he messed up. But like I said, I understand. It's just maybe the thing that everyone is also pissed off is Nick Anderson. Is the guy he went with to trust. I would have trust Nick Anderson.
Yeah. Picking the right guys, making a move is one thing. Picking the right guys to move with is another thing. Dave Roberts done it so many times in the postseason, mismanaging bullpens. And I think Kevin, like you said, there was a few other relievers that might have held it down, especially with Mookie on base.
Gonna win. Castillo, Fairbanks. Because Seager was coming up. You could even win Aaron Loop.
I mean, Mookie can't hit lefties for some reason. So
so that's where I was just like when that happened, it was just damn it. But they said it is what it is. It happened. Now hopefully Cash learns from that to be like, okay, let me trust my ace, or let me trust the guys that are out there. I know a lot of people were saying, and I also questioned too, it's crazy how he has like a shorter leash on Snell, but has a longer leash on Glasnow. But then it's also, think about it, in all the games Glasnow pitched, they were trailing, so he didn't want to burn through the bullpen. So that's why you let Glasnow do that. You let Glasnow pitch. If Glasnow gives up 4 runs, hopefully you're hoping and you're banking on the offense to come alive to make it an actual competitive game. And if not, then you just let Glasnow pitch as deep as possible, and then you worry about the next game.
Yeah, it seems like, I don't know if his game plan was to preserve the bullpen. Well, look, you got to choose at one point. If your starter's dealing, preserve that bullpen, have him go as much as you really think that he's going to start wearing out. Blake Snell had no signs of wearing out. So that's one thing. One thing is to look at the numbers, statistics and all that stuff. Another thing is to go with your gut. You're a manager, you push all the buttons. Sometimes you just can't look at as much as I love numbers and analytics, sometimes you just can't see and pitcher dealing like this to be like, yeah, he's done. After giving a hit to Austin Barnes. Maybe that was the thing. You gave up a hit to Austin Barnes. Maybe that's the thing. So that's it for my baseball segment.
Like I said, agree with everything you had to say there. Honestly, I'm a little relieved that finally this is over. This last week has been a pain in the ass, not fun.
I bet.
I even said it too. Honestly, like, it was cool seeing, family win. At least someone was gonna win between like my dad and me. So someone was gonna be happy. Someone was gonna be heartbroken. It didn't matter. There was no way of going around it. But But some of those. I'm not trying to target any Dodger fans because I know there's a lot of them. Like with some of the videos that people are posting of their parents crying, stuff like that. Cool. I just think it's the Dodger fans that I don't know if they actually really are Dodger fans that just somehow know how to take out the fun out of everything. They're the ones that go overboard. They're the ones that are the ones probably threatening Kenley's family and kids. They're the ones that probably are starting the fights at Dodger Stadium in the parking lot, getting arrested or whatever. Yeah, it wasn't fun, and to be like, oh, just to see how some people would change in their demeanor and be like, oh, you're what's it called? You're not rooting for the Dodgers, so it's like fuck, like I'm public enemy number one sometimes, and it's just like that's not fun when you can't even enjoy like the games. That's why sometimes I couldn't even say anything. I couldn't tweet anything, and then when people would tweet back to be like, oh, or message me and be like, oh, why'd you say what's it called? Because I even got heat off there's a Corey Seager tweet where I was like, oh, F you, Corey Seager. But then still paid him a compliment. You're still one of the best shortstops in the league. And I respect that. But F you, because he took the lead in game 4.
Uh-huh.
It's like that wasn't targeting no one. I wasn't freaking bashing him saying, oh, I hope he tears his ACL or does something like that. I'm not saying nothing like that. It was just I'm still giving him his respect. But also at the same time, like, fuck. Like, really, motherfucker? Why'd you have to do that?
Yeah.
Kind of like how people treat LeBron. They hate him and all that because they respect how great he is and because he knocks out their teams in the playoffs
some people hate
and
him.
beats them in the
some
finals.
People just hate him. Some people hate him.
And then obviously, yeah, some people just hate him though. But those are the ones that you need to really take a good look at yourself and just be like, what's wrong with you? But I don't know. There's just some people that are just like that though. But yeah, it was just if this happens again, I'm like, okay, do I need to go in a little shelter? Do I need to go live in Tampa for a week? Next time it happens, go stay over there, go fly. Yeah, so it's just like have a little more class to the Dodger fans. But that's why I'm doing the little air quotes because I know not every fucking fan is like that. And it looks like more times than not, the ones that are being like that are the fake fans, the casual fans, the ones that, bandwagon fans that don't know how to deal with losing because, they jump to the best team and then the next best team and the next best team. So it is what it is, but I'm just like, okay.
That's how I'm going to feel like when the Blue Jays win like 5 in a row. 2021.
Fucking MLB The Show, maybe. The funny thing was I was facing the Dodgers in the World Series too in my franchise. I beat them in 5. Yeah. One game they beat me, and then the other game they clapped them by like 20.
Dang. That's how it be sometimes. Well, I'm glad you have another World Series experience. I'm still waiting for any of my teams. If my teams ever win one in my lifetime, I feel like it'll mean a lot more to me. My teams have been the locales of the league for so long,
Yeah.
So I can't wait.
That's why some people don't sometimes even understand when it's just like, you LA fans, you guys are lucky. You guys are lucky to always be like in the running to be World Series favorites and stuff like that.
Because not only does LA have like 10 teams in every major sport, but like everybody wants to live in LA, so it's a very attractive spot.
Yeah, so it's just like let the people that aren't potentially, who knows, this might be my only other World Series I get to watch. I got to experience the 08 one, but totally different when you're a kid compared to an adult where now you could actually buy stuff, buy gear, You finally kind of, when you're at our age, you can finally pick who your actual team is. And oh wait, I was still kind of young. I still could have been like, somewhat of a Dodger fan because my parents liked them or something. Obviously it wasn't. I started liking them once Longoria got drafted. Once Longoria got drafted into the Rays organization, that's when I started to follow them. And I was like, okay, this guy's going to be like, really good and something special. And, I just followed him. Even went to like his hitting coach at Rio Hondo, worked with him for like a little bit, but like, yeah. So yeah,
Stater.
Yeah, so obviously got to see his jersey in Bosco because we used to
Huh.
play basketball over there, so we would see his jersey.
Oh, really?
And I forgot, yeah, because they had it like in the gym, like right when you walk into
Hanging,
the gym.
right? I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
So yeah, just allow the fans, the fans that don't ever get to really experience this, allow them to have their fun. And yeah, and we shouldn't ever have to be to the point where you're fucking threatening and doing stuff like that. Like every fan base should somewhat in respect it, like respect one another. Unless you're the Astros, screw them. Uh,
Yes.
what's it called? But yeah, like come on, be just a little more classy. Because if it was like the Blue Jays or something like that, or any other team, like hopefully you don't ever have to deal with that. And if it is like a case like that, no, like hopefully you guys either win or you don't have to face LA. Um, but yeah, it's pretty bad. Like I thought it was bad with the Yankee fans, but I'm like, geez. But like I said, I'm not saying it's all LA fans. There was a lot of LA fans who are like, you should be proud that they even got this far. You should be proud you guys did this because I thought we were gonna sweep you guys after game 1. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
So I'm like, but I was already thinking that too. I'm like, I'm already proud of my guys and what they're able to do. And let's get it running again. And hopefully we can make some,
Reload,
key. Yeah, just
which
reload. Get a
which
couple.
which
We're just
leads
missing a piece or two.
which
We
leads
have
me to my next question. My next question, my next take. I believe the Rays are 2 bats away, and truly taking the. It's funny because they're one of the better teams in baseball, and they haven't taken the league by storm really. They've
hmm
won they've won the division so quietly in these last few years. They've won so many games in the last few years with household names that you haven't heard of. It's great. It's really great. So, like I said, anyways, there are two players that I think that could change that whole dynamic in terms of offense because they're really struggling offense. They strike out the most in the league in
hmm
2020 and up there in 2019. One of them, the biggest key is JT Realmuto.
And especially
Feel
too,
me?
he's a free agent, so we don't have
He's
to
a
part
free
with
exactly,
prospects.
exactly. JT Realmuto, and another one is a key like and you brought it up. It's Nicholas Castellanos.
Because
Those two
he
people could really
fits.
change the tide.
He has the pop where he'll explode at Tropicana. He's versatile enough to play multiple positions. Because look what Cash has to do. Sometimes we have so many good players, we have to try to figure out a way to get Brandon Lau in the lineup where he has to play
Mhm.
right field or left field. Castellanos is versatile enough to play almost what first, the corners. Another I know when he was younger, I think he was able to play another position in the infield besides first. I have to look into that, but like yeah, versatility. Hopefully, maybe we could pair him up with Trevor Bauer. Just
Mhm.
saying, and then bring in Romuto. But I'll keep my expectations a little low just for right now, just to see what Stu's gonna do,
Right.
because we'll figure
Right.
out what he's gonna do with because I guarantee we're gonna have a few trades this offseason. So we have to just see
Mhm.
how he does, with the first trade and see where he's kind of going with this. Another guy I think who can actually probably step in and be like a little under the radar kind of signing is James McCann, the
Okay.
backup catcher for the White Sox, who was pretty reliable, pretty solid when he was the starter until they got Grandal. I think he could probably be another low key kind of signing that turns out to benefit the team, kind of like what Travis Darno was doing for the Braves and Marcell Ozuna was doing for them also. I think
Yeah.
Marcell Ozuna maybe could even be a piece too that we could see, but I like those two, Romuto and Castellanos, and especially since Romuto is a free agent, it's just gonna cost us money to get him. And
Uh-huh.
say you sign him to a 3 or 4 year deal for 100 something million. Um, you win when we win a championship, we could always try to trade him if we don't want to have his whole contract on the books. There's
Right.
always ways around it. Just gonna depend if teams are willing to take the contract, obviously, and all that kind of stuff. But that's always easy to sweeten with, a prospect or two added into a deal. It's easy. It's not that very hard to get out of a bad contract in reality. It's really hard when it's it's obvious like you're doing really bad and you really want to get rid of the guy, then that's when teams
Yeah.
know, okay, yeah, the leverage. But if Remuto does good, he's a key piece to us winning a World Series, and we want to, just trade him away. Teams will probably be banging on the doorstep and calling, Eric Neander about, trying to strike a deal to get Remuto. But I like those two key signings too, if we could get it done. And I just think maybe just get one more pitcher, especially if we lose Charlie
Yes.
Morton. Trevor Bauer would be phenomenal. Just imagine
He'd be a
him.
good
He
fit.
seems like he would just fit in perfectly with our organization. With Blake Snell, how he is. They're both very fiery. Blake Snell would understand. I'm not the ace Bauer is. Once Bauer leaves, I could be the ace anyways. And the crazy thing is, we have all these guys for such a long time. We got Blake Snell at least until 2024. And even when it's 2024, he'll be 31. Around that age is where
His prime.
players become more, they're prime, and they're more crafty at their skill and everything like that. And he's a left-handed pitcher, and that's pretty rare anyways for a left-hander. So just imagine how good he'll be when he's like 30, 29, around there. So please keep him. I know I was talking to Carlos about it. We were talking about like, what do you think could happen after this? And, like potentially, do you think we could strike any deals or anything, down the line that benefit both teams? And we talked about it, obviously. I wouldn't say probably this year, maybe in a year or two, because Blake's now still controlled for quite a while. I would say if we really needed to, and we were not going to be able to sign Blake Snell, and I still feel this weird feeling too, I could see him playing with the Dodgers. He's going to be able to get the big contract. Scott Boras, represents him. And I could see us making this deal because we have so much, pitching prospects in the farm. Our catching prospects are pretty depleted. No one really comes off, the page and it's like, oh, he's the future. Ronaldo Hernandez was that catcher, was that prospect at one point, but he did take a big step back in 2019. So we have to see how he is. Like, we have to reevaluate him and his, potential fit with the franchise. But I could see us maybe striking a deal for maybe Ruiz, or Will Smith.
Really?
I could see us striking a deal like that. Obviously prospects would probably be involved, lower tier prospects maybe, but it could be something like that. But I could see the Dodgers maybe parting ways more with Will Smith.
With one of them, yeah.
Yeah, because it's going to be very hard. Ruiz, throughout his career in the minors, has been an on-base hitting machine. He just needs to develop power, but he's also a switch hitter, so that benefits a lot. Dodgers are going to favor a switch hitter over a right-handed hitter. So Will Smith might be the odd man out.
Issues.
So Will Smith might be the odd man out of LA in a few years. And if that's the case, and I know it's always been a problem with us, even in 08, we always need a catcher. It's always one of our weakest positions. I would say jump at it and, try to strike a deal. Will Smith will still be pretty young in 2 or 3 years. He'll be 26, 27, going to be hitting the prime of his career anyways too. I'm willing to sacrifice him being below par defensively for a 25 plus home run season while batting like 240 compared to Mike Zunino fucking, batting 180 or lower.
Right.
So I could see something like that, but hopefully it doesn't really come down to that. I hope we could keep Snell for, years and years to come, and, maybe try to strike a deal for, I don't know, Wilson Contreras, someone of that caliber that can probably turn the franchise around.
Pretty good. Yeah, I think he's a pretty good catcher. The thing is, catchers come dime a dozen, and the last great catcher was Buster Posey, one that could actually hit very well, and play very good defense. So it's very hard to come by catchers nowadays. Osmani Grandal is another one. JT Realmuto is obviously the best catcher in the league.
Garver.
If he could turn that, if he could turn the hitting around, that'd be great. But JT Realmuto is a very, very attractive piece, and he would fit this Rays very, very well. I'm telling you, he'll be a 5 to 6 game difference in terms of record. So that's
I said, just thinking about it, if we had Travis d'Arnaud, the way he played last year with us and in the postseason, we potentially could have won the World Series this year if we had him, but we
Mhm.
didn't decide to sign him for that. He signed what 2 year for 20 million, 30 million with the Braves. That's still nothing really, especially if he gets you a championship. Who cares? But then again, it could
Well,
just be all Stu, trying to, kind of sabotage to get us out of Tampa because he doesn't really want us in Tampa anymore, which is kind of stupid, and that would hurt really. I feel like that would hurt a lot, the fan base over there if we end up leaving.
Mhm.
But
Be the Fresno
yeah,
Rays,
I wouldn't mind if they went to Vegas though.
Bakersfield.
If they went
I
to
bet the
Vegas,
Las
it's
Vegas
closer.
Rays. That sounds so dope.
If they went over here, closer over
The
here,
Las
that
Vegas
I wouldn't
baseball
mind.
team. That'll be so
I
sick.
just They would probably retire the name though. The name would probably stick with Florida if
Yeah,
they ever had a new
yeah.
team. So I don't know
Well, what
about
would you
that.
want your name to be? If they go to Vegas.
I don't know. I have to really think. I like the
The
Renegades. It could be
Cacti.
something like that. The Cacti. It could be. Mm, I don't know because we had a couple of
Blackjacks.
minor league teams over there that the Area 51ers with the aliens. That would have been
All
that
minor
would be
league teams' names are so cool.
so that would be kind of cool, especially since they're not there anymore, and I think they retired that name.
They
So
aren't there anymore, huh? Last time I remember was playing them in like MVP baseball
it's
2005.
I think it's the Oakland Athletics now. They're over there, and they're like the flighters or something like that, like pilots,
Oh.
like some pilot. Which I guess makes sense because a military base over there anyways. So with Area
Yeah.
51, fighter jets, all that kind of stuff. So it makes sense.
Mhm.
But yeah, we could always go like an alien route if they want to do something cool like that, or
The
something with maybe
Xenomorphs.
the like casino somehow, something with mafia ties. I don't know, something. They'll figure something out. But yeah, if they go over there, I'm getting season tickets. I don't give a shit. That'll probably stop me from moving to like Idaho or Wyoming for a while.
Really?
Right?
You'd go
Yeah,
back to Vegas for a bit?
yeah, for a while, or at least stay with my grandparents and then go to the games if I ever want to for certain games, and
Yeah.
then go back, fly back. But yeah, so congrats Dodgers. It was your guys' year. We'll see you guys again. And yeah, like I said, the most important thing I wanted to get out of this was, for the baseball world, all sports world to respect us. And I think we were able to do that.
All right, ready to move on?
Yeah, let's go and go on then. So let's go
Very
to basketball.
Very, very slight news in basketball world. The Houston Rockets now have a head coach, Steven Silas, if I'm not butchering the name. I'm sorry.
Salas.
Steven Silas, new hire for the Houston Rockets. What do you think about that?
I never really even heard about him, to be honest. I just know he was an assistant coach to
Yes, the Mavs.
Rick Carlisle. So he's a smart coach, so I'm pretty sure he'll be able to get something out of that. How long has he been with the Mavs though? Was he there for Dirk also?
Let me
Like
see.
his whole career, everything like that?
Let me see. I love this laptop. He's been with the league for Daryl Morey still hasn't found a place, huh?
Who?
Daryl Morey.
Oh yeah, didn't he sign? Isn't he with the Sixers?
I'm not sure. That's last I've heard of it. Geez, I can't find it. How long he's been with the Mavs? 20 seasons.
Oh shit, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Ah.
That seems okay. That seems okay with me.
That's
Just
enough
hopefully,
experience.
just hopefully James Harden respects him enough. But more likely, rookie head coach, he's gonna go ahead and give the keys to the star player, let him kind of lead the show, kind of to an extent. Yeah, he was there for Dirk. He was there for Luka.
They
I
won
think
with
about.
him.
Yeah, they won. So I think he should have enough respect. He should have the respect from the locker room. Hopefully, it turns out right, because if they don't do so well, he could be on the chopping block early on in his
Right.
coaching career, which sucks. You don't ever like to see that at all with a lot of young, bright coaches. Just sometimes it's not there's not a good fit with some players, and you need a certain coach for certain players, and sometimes, yeah, it just doesn't work out. But I think James Harden will probably be easier to bear with. Like, he'll be able to handle James Harden. James Harden doesn't really strike me as a diva, even though he flops and complains a lot on the court. But I
He
think
gets
with the
that to
front
get to the
office and the
free
head
throw
coach, I
line.
think he'll be fine. No, I know. Just
9 out of
just try
10
to
times
sweet
someone
talk his way.
flops is to get to have a better chance for your team to win.
So, yeah, I think that will help. Just interesting to see how his season is going to go. And who do we have left on the coaching circuit? The Bulls?
Yeah.
I can't remember if the Bulls signed anyone. Clippers
see.
are good.
Billy Donovan.
Oh, the Bulls got Billy. Okay. Shit. Then I think that's it then. Right? We got the Pacers. We got the Bulls. We got the Clippers. The Thunder? Sixers. We're missing the Thunder, huh?
Yeah. Thunder still hasn't
Ooh,
signed anybody.
but does Mike D'Antoni have a chance with OKC? Do they suit his play style? Is that what they want to adapt to for Shea? I get Shea could play in that type of pro style offense.
Him running the ball, pretty much him running the ball all the time.
Mm-hmm. He could. So that's the thing.
James Harden approach.
But he just needs to develop his jump shot, I think, a little bit more. If you really think about it.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, that's crazy how everyone started signing right away. Well, it makes sense because the draft is coming up, so you need to hire your head coach to figure out what he wants. Because the worst thing to do is not have a head coach or GM go into the draft, the owner having a draft, and then the head coach or GM they bring in doesn't like the draft pick. That's the worst situation you could ever have. I'm really surprised because I thought we would have saw Becky Hammond actually get a chance.
Becky, she's very suitable for the job.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I really thought she would have had a legit chance this year or this offseason.
Yeah.
Unless she's just waiting for Pop to retire, but Pop might be there for a little longer, and that's not even guaranteeing she's gonna get the job from him because I think Tim Duncan is probably destined to coach them.
I hope he does. I love Tim Duncan. He's honestly the most underrated player in the whole 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's so crazy. People don't know how good he was. But yeah, I would love to see Tim Duncan take the reins or Tony Parker or something like that.
He takes the reins and brings Tony Parker and Ginobili as his
That would be
coaching
so
staff.
sick. That would be so sick. That would be so sick. Not gonna lie.
They have the pieces to compete though right now. They have Derek White, Murray. Who else? Oh, that's really it. But they got DeRozan for right now. But I'm assuming Tim Duncan. Because I'm trying to think way ahead because I think Pop will probably be there for at least 4 more years. I'm assuming till we're in our 30s. I feel like he'll finally retire, which is scary because our 30s aren't that far away.
Right.
Only 6 years away, so it's like, oh shit. Your tweet though.
Which one?
I was born on the same. I was born on the same day as Willie. Do I get a ring too?
I get a ring too. Man, I was born on the same day. Maybe we got switched at birth or something. There's a reason why he was pitching and not me.
Oh shit!
And I expect my ring soon. I have one right here.
Imagine that would be crazy. Some crazy shit. You guys were switching.
They sent it to me instead.
Hey, your parents come to you. Yeah, that was supposed to be our son. I think something got something got mixed up.
And they trade me for conditional 7th round pick. Wow, that'd be funny.
And the rights to a European player or what?
International player pool money.
Oh shit. Oh
Yeah,
man.
yes, yeah, Vic, you're a 7th round pick. I'm like, what?
They fucking they package your brother in the deal too with Cooper.
With Coop. Oh, that's
Oh
funny.
man.
They
But
said you had to
oh
be a
fuck.
Browns and Nets fan and a Blue Jays fan for the rest of your life, though.
Hey, your teams are coming up
They're
though.
on the up. They're on the up. They're on the up.
Only thing I got really right now going for me is just the Rays. Timberwolves maybe if they don't fuck up the draft. If they don't fuck up the draft or if they could trade and get Devin Booker, we're up and coming too. But besides that, things could be worse. We could be Jonathan Jimenez and like the
Oh God, poor
the
Giants and
Giants.
Angels and who's his basketball team? I don't think he has them. Clippers. Oh God, poor guy, man. He feels it. He
Oh
knows it
shit.
though. He knows it. He knows it. I'll tell you one thing, bro. If the Browns, Blue Jays, and Nets all win in the same year, I will be completely unbearable. Like people are gonna block me. I will be completely unbearable.
All right, so note to
People will
self.
not
Maybe so note to self
block
mute
me.
you or block you. No, I
I
don't care.
will be unbearable. Oh my God.
Yeah, I
I will
told what's his
start.
name like when we were talking separately because I had to get his picks and he forgot to give me his fucking Drew dropped the ball really bad on his picks. But what's it called? I know when he was telling me, he's like, oh, like don't be like, who cares? Just tell people or whatever. Go ahead, tweet. I'm like, nah, it's not really worth it because I don't want to deal with all that crap. I'm like, hey, if you guys are fucking and your teams are winning, fucking go ahead. I don't care.
Yeah. You
I'll fucking
waited.
retweet that shit. I'll be annoying too, like if I'm a fucking fan. A fan of the team. And I fucking told you
Fan of
about
the
Harrison Bryant. I fucking told you.
No, I believe you. No, I believe you, but he's really good, very fast.
That's why I wanted him with the fucking Falcons.
He's so good.
You guys honestly
guy's-
don't even need Austin Hooper if you really think about it.
I believe he could start. He's very touchdown dependent. He can make those catches. Austin Hooper is a very good. I don't want to say decoy tight end, but he's a very good
He is
system tight end. He's a very good system tight end.
You could just say that he's a. Yeah, they need to start doing more 2 tight end sets with them, because Harrison Bryant will go off. I don't even know if I even got him. I think
he's
I
an
tried to claim him.
oversized wide receiver. He's an oversized wide receiver for sure.
Hey, but that's okay. Look what Mark Andrews is able to do.
I'll take that. Yeah,
exactly. Okay, so before we move on to football, because we're already getting off topic. So we already said the new hire for the Rockets. Interesting. Rockets should still make the playoffs, especially with who they have on that team.
Yes, they should.
No
reason to.
I would say maybe a 6th seed, 5th seed, somewhere around there is ballpark, because we still don't know how he's going to be as a coach. Yeah. And the West is so good, especially if teams could make the jump, like Timberwolves or other teams like that. Suns, they might be lower. Okay, so I said this a little earlier too before we even started recording. So now we have a target date for training camp, especially so NBA we talked about this last week too. Looks like they're going to target a December 22nd for the first day, for opening day for next season. If that's the case, training camp will be targeted on December 1st. But player union has to first vote yes. But the league looks like that's what they want. They're pushing for that. And then obviously Danny Green making his comment about, if it does start on December 22nd, he doesn't see LeBron playing for the first month. LeBron might not even show up to training camp really. Or actually, no, he probably will, but he probably won't play or suit up. Because it makes sense because he is a lot older. He's still probably more than capable to make that jump.
I'm telling you, he still could
do it.
He's still in physical shape than I am. Well, I mean,
yeah, he could still.
He's a world class athlete.
He could obviously do that too. But I guess it makes sense. He's a little bit older now. They just barely finished their season on October 11th. If he goes back to report to training camp on the 1st, if it gets approved, that's less than 2 months.
Month. Yes.
Yeah, a month and some change or whatever. So it's just ooh, it's gonna be interesting. Younger guys should be able to make this transition no problem. Luka, all those type of guys, they should be able to go ahead and push through it. But it's just interesting. It's like how many players do you think we might see not actually do what LeBron does? And first of all, do you think LeBron even does that though? Do you think he misses the whole month, like the first month of the season, to just get
He
his
wouldn't
body
want to do it.
into? No,
He
so you don't
wouldn't
think
want
so?
to do it. I'm not saying that the Lakers are telling him to do it, or he's saying that he's gonna do it. But I understand why if he doesn't. He takes care of his body more than any other athlete I've ever seen in my life. So
Hmm.
it's up in the air.
Do you see any like players like any stars now take that little who might actually take that break? Kawhi, load management.
For 100%, 100% Kawhi,
Kawhi
Paul
would.
George.
Kawhi seems like the dude that he won his championship. Everyone kind of respects
Like
him.
just
He's
leave me
1-2.
alone.
Kind of leave me
Yeah, like
alone. Let me coast and just be like,
let
okay,
me play
yeah.
my game. And it's crazy
I
because
don't.
Kawhi is a top 5 player, and he has nothing to prove.
True.
Besides that whole Toronto without made playoffs, deep playoff run without Kawhi argument. But that he could win in anywhere else. But I think he doesn't care about that really. He just
You could
wants to
tell the guy
play
don't
very
care.
well. He
Just
doesn't.
different. He's just a different type of star. He
Yeah.
still has his old beat up car from when he was in high school. Still, I think some people say he would take the bus too. Very humble, down to earth, superstar.
Probably doesn't
Which
talk
I
to his
get.
wife.
I wonder how those conversations are.
But hey,
How was your day? Good.
Okay.
Do you like
Okay.
the chicken? Yeah.
What do you want for dinner? Anything?
Anything? Food.
Food.
Oh.
I don't eat it. He doesn't eat it. He doesn't. He's a robot. He is a robot.
He just sits down and just plugs his he has like a charger in the back. He just plugs in.
No need.
I'm shutting off now for
He
the
just
night.
shuts off like. That's funny.
Oh man, I want to see if they did like how they used to do the MTV Cribs. I wonder how his house would be if they would be able to get him on the show. If they ever did anything like that, and then his just so simple. There's my fridge.
Right.
There's my dog. My wife. All right. See you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Like, all right,
He
there's
probably
the front
would.
door, and we're leaving you out of it.
He's like, oh, I have to show you the most important room in the whole house. He takes him to a door, opens it,
Outside.
leads outside.
He just throws.
And then it's only
something.
2 minutes of the episode. They're like, oh shit, okay, now it looks like we have to go find someone else. What other superstar lives in LA around here that we could go to? It's like, oh, okay, let's go to LeBron's house. I wonder, do you think Bronny
they walk in on him like spanking Bronny or saying taco, and they automatically walk out.
They're like, oh shit,
just smoking with Bronny.
You think Bronny got the ass beating of a lifetime yet?
He did. He definitely did. There's no doubt about it.
Dude, I don't know if you ever watch him when he plays Twitch, but the comments people always say to him,
really?
oh, LeBron's gonna spank your ass, LeBron's your daddy coming. Or something. Your daddy's coming, and he's like, don't even play, man. Like, this isn't even funny. Oh shit, man. I can't believe that. Hey, that takes some balls by him to post something like that, especially knowing who's your dad. And everyone's gonna be like, oh, even if he took it off real quick, there's someone that's gonna
following you. Yeah. You swear like no one. You swear like you're not regarded to be one of the next best players coming out.
Oh shit, man! Fucking Bronny, dude.
LeBron.
I give that motherfucker props though. I give him.
Hey,
shit.
That's a perfect time to. So your dad's in a bubble winning championship.
He can't beat my ass, and hopefully he forgets. Hey, when he finally comes back home, like Bronny's hanging out with his friends, he comes home. LeBron has the belt. He's like, you think I forgot, huh?
He uses his MVP trophy.
Oh shit, he is.
Oh my god.
Oh, some people are gonna come over. What's that mark on your trophy? Looks like an ash cheek mark.
It's a
Well, that's
dent.
why
I just want to have a dent in it.
I use a smack Brawny.
And, it's funny because when they ask him why is there a dent in it, there's Bronny in the background walking all with the lip.
Oh, with the lip. They're like, "What happened, Brawny? I fell. I ran into a
I
doorknob."
fell. I fell.
Oh shit. Oh man, that would be gold though if Bronny had the balls to like post it or to record like him
Oh
his dad
yeah.
like scolding him or something. That'd be fucking hilarious. I would just follow him and donate or whatever to his fucking little channel if he did something like that. But guarantee LeBron would kick his ass if he posted him punishing him. He'll make him live in the back house, that little house.
His daughter's house.
Yeah, Bronny lives there.
Like, where's Bronny? He's out back.
Out
His little
back.
dog bowl and stuff.
Oh man, that must be nice. I wish I had a little house like that at her age, or at that age. I'm like shit.
And you have to pay bills and stuff. Nah.
Oh man, but shit. I like how everyone. There were some people posting about the whole thing with LeBron being like it's not done yet with the Dodgers, and him being like celebrating, and then people being like, so what team? Who do you like? Do you like the Yankees? Do you like? He just goes
he's
for
a Browns
whoever.
fan right now. He's a Browns fan right now.
I thought he's always been.
He's because of course he's from Akron, Ohio, but he likes the Cowboys a lot. But you know how things are with the Cowboys. I feel like the Browns was his first love, like the Yankees were my first love, and Cowboys are just they were America's team at one point. Even though I don't remember voting or anything like that.
Same here.
Yeah. So I feel like Braun's first love is always the Browns because he's from Ohio and things like that. And considering how well things are going with the Browns, I get it. But he's always been like the Cowboys. He's always like the Cowboys too. So he'll root for the Browns. Yankees fan, I have zero clue. Obviously, he's in LA now, so he's going to root for the Dodgers. I was about to say even for basketball. I don't know.
Doesn't root for the Lakers.
Imagine. He hates the Lakers. Like, damn it, they want to get.
He's like secretly, I like the Clippers. Is a whole little shrine.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah.
Interesting fellow LeBronist. And the only thing that sucks though is like no parade. It looks like they're not going to do a parade, and especially too, with how everything was going. Like, we have a couple of friends that were in like.
You bet after COVID's over, there's going to be some sort of celebration.
Yeah, but at that point, it's like, how late though?
Too late.
Like, is
this
gonna?
It's too late.
Yeah, it's too late to be like, okay, like go ahead and be stupid. Like, they do it by the time like next season
go
starts.
Ahead and be
I'm like, no. I'm like, okay, whatever. The funniest thing though, like watching those videos of the fans celebrating, is a smart car doing donuts, and then another dumbass doing donuts with fireworks going off, and the fireworks. Yeah, he ran over a firework and caught his car on fire. So it's like, fuck, man. All that for a championship. I hope. What, you think the Dodgers are going to pay for your car? Your next car?
Exactly.
Oh, my shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, that's fine. And it did feel like 4th of July yesterday. I was just like,
I didn't hear a lot of fireworks, really.
Well, obviously, shit, Whittier Boulevard over there was crazy.
Yeah. Really? I didn't hear. Well, obviously, like in the murky waters of LA, there's gonna be tons. I seen the videos. There was fireworks, but I didn't hear any as much as.
You're lucky. There was a shit ton over here.
Really?
There's tons and tons. Yeah.
Well, you're closer to the murky waters of LA, so that's that.
But yeah, so I'm just like, ugh, whatever. Let's see. Is there anything else we have for basketball? I don't think so. I think it was the World Series, which probably took us a good chunk of the time anyways. Yeah, I think that's it. That's it for that. So let's go ahead and go into football, which we have a lot to talk about. We got, OBJ. Yeah. My dad can't get a damn break on his fantasy team. I can't even win right now. Like every time I have a decent game,
I'm
fucking Mike
moneyballing right now.
Evans. Mike Evans, man.
Dude,
He
let me.
fucking Tom Brady didn't throw shit to him against the Raiders.
I know.
I'm like,
Um,
fucking assholes.
What was I gonna say? Let me tell you about how I always manage. I'm already dealing with injuries, and I'm moneyballing. I've managed to come around some gems on waiver wire with Fulgham and Higgins, and who else did I get off waiver wire? Gaskin. He's consistent as hell, and a few other.
Well,
You know,
the thing is that's crazy though too is usually you don't have to worry about what's it called, like a lot of those guys would have been picked up at some point, but it just seems like everyone's team is just healthy. Everyone's
yeah,
team is healthy to the point
yeah,
where
yeah,
they can't drop someone. And
yeah.
like
They
at the
can't.
same point too for me was I know when I dropped the what's it called to pick up a defense and then I dropped the defense to pick up a tight end, I didn't want to part ways with what's his name because he's been pretty consistent and sometimes Coop doesn't do nothing depending on the Falcons. And someone already
Who?
picked up Rodrigo Blankenship. I'm like, I'm so sad. Hot Rod
Really?
got picked up. Yeah, Green Thunder picked him up. The guy I played,
Ah,
so he picked him up. So I'm like, son of a bitch.
yes. Let me tell you about my matchup though. I played good enough to win.
Did you win this week?
No, let me tell you. Let me talk to you about it. I played good enough. I put up 180 points. I was good enough to win. I was good enough to win every other game
Except
Green Thunder. Except Green Thunder, because Green Thunder had
he went
Tyler
off. He
Lockett.
went
He
off
put up
against me. Yeah.
but so in other words, I had to play against someone who had Tyler Boyd, Devontae Adams, and yeah, and Zane Gonzalez. So yeah, so that's always the story of my life, and that's just the way fantasy goes. What can I do? You know, I'm banged up. I lost Dak Prescott. Miles Sanders can't stay healthy for more than 2 weeks in a row. My wide receivers were thin. It is what it is, and I'm trying my best. I feel like I'm doing fairly well considering the condition I'm in, and how I had like 2 people in the IR, and
You
how
want to
I'm
trade?
just no.
I'm still trying to make a trade.
For who? For who?
I don't know.
You need a
I'm
tight
just
end.
trying to figure a tight end. I don't need a tight end.
Hard, Andrew. Well, you have an empty slot right now.
Oh, because what's it called? I think the waiver went through. I picked up Harrison Bryant. He's gonna be more
Oh,
of my
did you
stash kind
really?
of guy. Yeah, I picked him up. I
Oh, you
think
did pick him up. You did pick him up. Yeah.
he's gonna be more
Not
of a
bad.
stash type of player because I think he'll do
Yeah.
better than Austin Hooper. But I'm not super 100% comfortable yet just dropping Hooper because he's been actually
Right.
picking it up lately. But I think if you really think about it long term and going like later down the stretch, I feel like you have to play Bryant and you have to get Bryant involved. Hooper is more of the decoy right now. And the reason why he
Yeah.
wasn't a decoy with Atlanta was because, he had no competition at the tight end position, and Matt Ryan threw it to him all the time. He's on an offense that doesn't throw to the tight end as much. They use him. He's
Really.
out there for snap counts with the Browns, but he's more of a blocking tight end. And it seems like right now, at this point, unless Baker gets him more involved, which Baker has. But I think honestly, that was a coming out party for Harrison Bryant. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
banking on Harrison Bryant doing good, but it still doesn't matter because it's not like he's even good enough to even start as my flex. I still have other players that could start as a flex because he's
Well,
not
if
starting
he's
over Mark Andrews. He's not starting over him.
you don't do that. So, but I mean, if you do start him at a flex, I mean, if you see this trend of just usage of Harrison Bryant, which I think will go up, yeah, you got it. He's very touchdown dependent. He has like four touchdowns in the red zone alone this year.
Oh yeah, so
So look out for that. That's a decent pickup if you didn't have Mark Andrews, but I get it. It's for insurance, so that's not
thank
bad.
God. What's it called? I think I didn't pick up Njoku. I think he got a touchdown, didn't he?
He did get a touchdown.
But I don't think he did as good as Logan Thomas. But the funny thing was, I was gonna pick up Harrison Bryant too. I'm like, I should, but I'm like, I don't know.
Well, we didn't expect Austin Hooper to have to first appendix to burst, so yeah, that's that.
And he'll probably be out next week anyways, or this week. He should.
I'm not sure.
Just to be safe. Just to be safe on the
Yeah.
safe side. You don't need to rush him, especially with Harrison
I
Bryant.
would. Yeah. If he didn't have Mark Andrews, I'd be confident starting him against the Raiders, who have an atrocious defense.
I gotta see what my flex are though. My other guys. 'Cause
I-
Mark
I-
Andrews
I-
is number one.
You have Mark Andrews, so that's fine. But if you have no one that doesn't have the best matchup,
But then also too, there's Le'Veon Bell, and I hope he goes off on that one because he has the Jets. He needs to. Like, I feel like he wants to also go off against them. Like, that just makes perfect sense. But
is he washed? Was it just the Jets? Was it both? We'll see.
the crazy thing is he's super healthy though. He hasn't played for a while with the Jets.
Really?
So there shouldn't be an issue regarding that. He should have fresh legs as of right now. Oh, and then also I totally forgot. Congratulations to Carlos, and then also my uncle for actually predicting it. I don't think we ever actually told him.
He got it right.
Yeah, he said the same thing. He said Seager, and the Dodgers in 6. Carlos said it too. Well, he told me directly, and then I already got his stuff. Well, for his brother, I got it for him, and then now I'm just waiting for my uncle. But I told him he has to hurry up before the merchandise goes
Rose out
on hold or runs out, because it's funny because series is over. Next week I get all my AL pennant stuff. So I'm gonna get all my fucking shit for the fucking AL pennant. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, I guess, whatever. I'll just act like it's Christmas or something. Oh yeah, thank you. Even though I paid for it. So I'm like, okay. But what's it called? Yeah, so congrats to them. Thank God it was not fucking Mookie, because I had like 8 people alone fucking say Mookie. And I'm like, shit. And I'm like, I didn't say specifically that we were gonna do a drawing or something if we had over like abundance of people picking the same guy. I honestly thought it was gonna be Kershaw. I thought Eileen was gonna get it. Like I guarantee.
She picked Kershaw.
She picked Kershaw. So I was like, oh shit, especially with the way he was pitching. And after they won, I'm like, it's probably gonna be him, because everyone's probably gonna vote for him, whatever, because he finally got over the yips. But no, so I'm like, okay. But yeah, I'll let you know how much it is. But as of right now, it's not that much from what I text you. Yeah. But okay, so let's go ahead, and obviously we'll do a video too, because we gotta start using our Rooks Instagram more, because that's what she called me out on that. Eileen, she's like, you guys need to post it on your actual account, not just do it on your guys' own thing. I'm like, well, we have more followers on our personal.
Well, then you do it, Eileen.
I was gonna tell her, I'm like, you want to be in charge of freaking social media? I can't pay you nothing right now.
I can guarantee you a bag of Skittles.
Bag of Skittles. She's like, a week? No, a month.
A week?
Can I at least get a bag of Skittles a day? No, that's asking for too much. That's over our budget.
We can only offer 1 pack of Skittles a week.
It's like not even a week, man. Just a month. A month. That's like, oh wait, never mind. Our budget's actually lower than that. We can only do like 1 every 3 months. So we can pay you in advance for your Skittles, but after that, you're not getting
Skittles.
But we'll get better at that anyways. But yeah, so we'll make sure we post that, because I just told them, just make sure, tell your brother or whatever, or tag us or something in a post like when you finally get it. Cause I just got it shipped to them, obviously. Right. And with my uncle, he lives down the street anyway, so I could just easily just give it to him. But okay, so let's go ahead and go into. Let's go into Antonio Brown, because we talked about it last week. We didn't have obviously the details. So yay, fucking Buccaneers just keep getting players and collecting. If they don't make the Super Bowl, especially with the way they've been playing, everyone's gonna clown on them. Like, I don't know how Tom gets out of that. Okay, so let's go ahead and go. Did I not write it down? Oh, this is all the Brown stuff. Okay. So, everyone knows Bucks finally got Antonio Brown. Tom Brady finally gets to pair up with them. So we signed a 1-year deal for $1 million. So the deal can max out at $2.25 million. Incentives are, he has a couple of little things he has to reach to get all that money. If they win the Super Bowl, Bucks win the Super Bowl, he'll get $750,000. But he has to at least be, on the field for 35% of the snaps. That's a lot. That's a lot for him to do. And hopefully he buys in and is a team player. So then after that, it goes
I hope he doesn't.
I hope he doesn't, to be honest. I just like to clown on him. He's a stooge. He's
for
wasted
the memes.
He wasted his talent, to be honest.
Happen. He did.
Not trying to be fucked up or anything. He wasted it. Just the way he handled everything with the Steelers and Raiders.
So bad.
So now we have these other little categories, but in order to actually get the money for these incentives, they have to make the postseason. But it looks like they're going to make postseason either way. So he has to have 45 receptions this season to get $250K, 650 yards to get $250K, and at least 6 touchdowns. All of those look pretty reasonable to get.
Right.
Reception, actually, I don't know. I don't know if they.
Hold on, I'm doing the math. So he has to have 5.6 receptions per game on average for the rest of the season to reach 45.
That's hard.
Can he get that considering that they have 2 other wide receivers that get the workload and a pass catching running back, Ronald Jones.
And then not even factoring their tight ends, Cameron Brayden, Gronk. So it's ooh, is he going to be able to get that? Probably not. He'll get the touchdown.
So
your best bet is to just, like I said, what we discussed last week, just
after
deal
a
his
big
ass.
game, I'll deal him. Yeah.
After one
Maybe
big
your
game,
dad needs him.
I don't think. Well, actually, he might be desperate, but if he's already super far behind, he probably won't. But I know I've been falling. He'll keep playing, but yeah, probably. Because I know 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was in second, and I've lost, I think, 2 straight. Even though Herbert's been fucking playing phenomenal. Burrow went off too.
Yeah.
So it's just fuck, I can't even buy a win right now. I need a cupcake matchup this week. I gotta see who I'm playing. I don't even think I'm playing anyone, easy. Everyone has a good team, really.
Yeah.
In reality. Yeah, so I don't know. That's a lot to ask for because I think he'll get the yards. The yards could be easy because you could easily get 100 yards on 3 receptions, some bullshit like that. So that should be pretty easy. Touchdowns could probably be easy too. It's just gonna come down to the receptions. I just don't know if he's really gonna be able to get it. If you had to bet, do you think he gets it or no? Any of these incentives?
I cannot tell whether it's his ability to still produce in this team or whether he stops himself from getting these incentives. He's his own worst enemy.
He wants to wear a helmet from the early 1900s or what?
From 200 BC and stuff like that.
That's
he wants to wear a helmet that the Romans had. Yeah, he wants to wear what the Romans had with the feathers and all that stuff.
And burn off his feet.
Burn off his feet and call
shit.
God real quick.
Dap me up. Get me out of here.
I mean, can't. That's just to play for here. Yeah, you can play with us for free.
And the crazy thing is, Bruce Arians does not look like he fucks around. And I'm actually glad he made that comment during, I think, an interview or during one of their press conferences, because they always do press conferences, about, he's either a team player or he's fucking out.
Yeah.
And it's really going to determine, let's see how he really likes it, because he has Evans, Godwin. You could even say Scotty Miller and obviously Ronald Jones ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's and then you could add in Gronk or whatever, but it's who is AB good enough to at least top Evans and Godwin? I don't think so. Probably Scotty Miller, but you have to roll with the hot hand, and Ronald Jones is the hottest hand right now for their offensive weapons, which I'm liking. So thank God I didn't drop him. I was so close to dropping him too.
Jeez,
that would have been a fucking clusterfuck for sure. I would just be like the Jets. I'm just trading people away now. I'm gonna get draft picks so I can draft Trevor Lawrence next year.
That'd be crazy.
I'll be ballsy enough to draft Trevor Lawrence.
I'm sure you
I
would.
don't know. I'm not in the first round though. Fuck that. I'll draft him like
No.
sixth round. I'll have him even when there's probably better quarterbacks. What's his name is probably gonna be a top quarterback too next year. Justin Herbert, just with the weapons he has and the way he's producing. I know he's not winning, but he's still producing. Some crazy numbers, and that's always good to see regarding fantasy.
Yeah,
It's not like you
means
get
something's
extra points
working.
if they win. Yeah, it's not like
Yeah.
you get points for if they win or lose. But yeah, I don't. Okay, let's go ahead and just like put money down right now, or like just does he finish off the year with the Bucks, or is he gone? Does he last a week?
I think he does. I think he does.
He's running low on
think
funds.
He does. I think he does. Like I said, he is his own worst enemy. I will not be surprised if he implodes again. But I won't be surprised if he explodes in the NFL with the Bucks. I know you catch my drift.
Yeah. And is Tom Brady going to be able to like calm him down? Is Tom Brady his Black Widow, and what's his name is the Hulk? easy big fella. You have to tell him a lullaby to convince him to stay, but fuck. I really hope this crashes and burns, because obviously my cousin texted me too, and he was like, we got him. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but I'm like, is he gonna even fit? Like, that's the thing too. And the crazy thing is, I asked him when we talked about potential trade about Clyde Edwards, Hilaire for Ronald Jones, the whole trade we were talking about. And he told me, he's like, part ways with Ronald Jones. I'm like, you fucking crazy ass. Like, I get, who Edwards plays with, but then, Brady does like to use his running backs. And also Le'Veon Bell is gonna, like, I know a lot of people don't want to talk about it, like, especially like, fantasy owners of Clyde Edwards Hilaire. But Le'Veon Bell is gonna cut through his production a little bit. I'm not saying it's gonna be a lot, like drastically from Edwards averaging 18 to like 10 or like 9. It's gonna be like from 18 to maybe 14, 15 range, which is still pretty solid if you can have a running back produce at that, like
Right.
As long as you have other pieces, good quarterback or something. But yeah, I don't think this is gonna really work out. And plus, I don't want to win in a Super Bowl with Tom Brady. I don't want him to.
If he does, I hope he loses.
I hope it's Antonio Brown's fault, because he wears a helmet from like the Roman days, gets a concussion, and misses the rest of the game, and they lose. I hope that's how it ends, and then somehow he burns off his feet in one of those fucking chambers.
Cryo chambers.
It's like, when are we gonna have those chambers in Dragon Ball Z, where you just
hyperbolic like tank chambers, or the back to tanks?
Or the back to tanks. There you go, the back to tanks.
Star Wars.
Well, I don't know what they call it in
they're not back to tanks in Dragon Ball Z, but it's exact.
They're similar to that. Yeah,
it's the exact same thing, but I guess less, because less faster. I don't know. I've always wanted a back to tank. Like, and give me Max Rebo.
No, it's fucking funny, because if you had a lot of stupid money like Patrick Mahomes, I could see you buying stupid shit like that.
I would buy stupid Star Wars things that no one ever like heard of. Like, I'll buy them. I mean, everybody likes mouse droids and stuff like that, but I'll buy like the Gonk droid. I'll buy a freaking, what's that thing called from episode? I'll buy the Sabuius Crumb dolls. I'll get a freaking Bulba plush doll or some shit. I will buy some stupid stuff.
I can't say. No, actually, no, yeah, because last year during the Mandalorian, I was gonna buy a fucking helmet, so I can't say shit either. I probably would buy like cool. A full-on outfit. That's true. If they think it's stupid, then they're not my type of friend. What's it called? Or Baby Yoda. Oh, buy the actual like animatronic.
The child.
Like, yeah, buy the actual puppet. That would cost us probably a couple mil.
Actually, or you could just kidnap the child.
Season 3, he comes over here to find the child.
He's outside the door
travels
like,
to-
oh my god.
He travels to a strange place, La Mirada. He's like, "What is a La Mirada? What is La Mirada?" What's it called with the fobs going off? Other bounty hunters
Yeah.
coming here.
And you hear that outside your door.
What's it called? But shit. Where were we going with that? We get sidetracked so much.
Yeah, Antonio
We
Brown
should,
helmet.
if we did a Patreon, we should actually low key do like
just talk about stupid shit.
episodes of just random shit.
Yeah.
What's it called? Okay, so I'm done talking about AB, that stooge. Want to try to burn his feet off, whatever. At one point, you have to be pretty desperate to get out of a place if you're trying to burn off your feet.
Yeah.
Let's go to OBJ.
Do we have to?
Is this gonna be a major blow to the Browns, or do the Browns have enough weapons to, avoid a sinking ship?
To answer your question, it is always a blow when you lose a star wide receiver. It is always a blow when you lose someone of that versatility who could do so much. You could just play around with in the playbook when it comes to someone like Odell, who could throw the ball too.
Yes, he could throw the ball.
Who could rush it? He could run jet sweep with him. We've seen him do that many times. Do I think they're gonna bounce back? Yeah, hell yeah, they do. It's oddly enough, Baker plays better without OBJ. It's so weird. And I picked up Rashard Higgins because he's now going to be like one of the top targets because Landry's banged up. He'll get the check downs. Higgins is going to be on the outside. He's a very good wide receiver, very underappreciated, underrated. The chemistry between Baker and Higgins is like this, dude. Like this.
I know.
Like this. It's been like that for the last 3 years, and Freddie Kitchens overlooked him. Kevin Stefanski healthy scratched them a few times. You can't deny or overlook that Baker and Higgins are the best. He plays unreal. Baker plays unreal with Higgins whenever he targets him a lot. We've seen that with the Bengals and in years past. And I just can't fathom and understand why they don't play Higgins when they know that Baker's very, very, very good with Higgins on lined up.
Higgins is basically like, because when you have Landry and OBJ healthy, I think of it almost like the whole thing with the Falcons. Like Higgins is your guys' Russell Gage.
Safety blanket. It's a Cooper Kupp, but Cooper Kupp is the wide receiver one. But I'm just saying, like, Higgins is that safety blanket, that Russell Gage, that one that you could always count on because there's
Hunter
the chemistry
Renfrow.
between Baker. Exactly. The chemistry is just unreal between them. And I expect them to go off against the Raiders because they have a non-existent defense at this point too.
Oh yeah, they should start every Brown player you have. Pick up the whole Browns team. Sure. Just go ahead, drop Clyde Edwards, drop Miles Sanders.
Yeah, so
I'll give you Harrison Bryant.
No, Browns have it easy from now on. They have the easiest schedule from now on. Besides playing the Titans, Baltimore, and Steelers one more time. I expect them to lose those 3 games. And I expect them to win the rest.
Playoffs then.
Yes,
you guys better.
They could be 11-5. They could be 11-5 and make playoffs in the stacked AFC North division, which is crazy. It's unfair even. So to answer your question, whether or not they can still do it, yes, they can still do it. Donovan Peoples-Jones, remember that name? He's very good too. And his third catch, he had an unreal catch. I love DPJ. He was still in the 6th round. I think we both talked about this too. Rashard Higgins, they still have Jarvis Landry, they still have Harrison Bryant, an oversized tight end. Austin Hooper's coming back, and they still have the run game. So I think they'll be fine.
I think if anyone's gonna get their usage up and probably produce for the rest of the season, it's probably gonna be Higgins and Harrison Bryant because Njoku, I think you just get rid of him. I think it's around that time. If there's a team that's desperate enough that wants him, trade him. If you could get like a third round pick, 4th round pick even, that's probably good. The Cowboys could be desperate enough.
Yeah, for a tight end. Anyone is desperate enough for a tight end. Hell,
He's
No,
still
I was
young
gonna say
too.
Falcons, but no.
He's still
Yeah,
young, but it's just like you don't really need him
dude,
because your future is basically
he's
Harrison Bryant.
it is
It
Harrison
is.
Bryant for
It is.
sure.
It is Harrison
Yeah,
Bryant. Your
it's
future is
100%.
Harrison
Yeah,
Bryant.
100%.
He's potentially
Uh,
the next George Kittle,
I see him. I
or
see him as
George
a
Kittle /
healthy.
Mark Andrews
I see him
esque
as
type of
yeah,
tight end.
yeah. He's very lengthy and he's got the size, and I like that a lot. David Njoku, he's good when he wants to catch the ball. Damn it,
When
he's
he
good
wants
when he
to,
actually wants to when he wants to catch a ball.
when
But
he
that
actually
tight
wants to
end
play.
room is when he actually wants to play. That tight end room is I like that tight end room really. You know, if they stick with him to the end of the year, that's fine to get either his stock up or some reasons for some ways or not. You know, it's all up to him. So I would like for them to keep Njoku till the end. They love him. He helps out.
Oh yeah, he does. What's it called? Let me see. I got to look at my team now because I just really thought about that. And let's see. It's Harrison Bryant. Actually, I'll try to find a way to get Harrison Bryant, but I don't know. It's probably either be him or Le'Veon Bell. Like, do I want to roll the dice on Le'Veon, who could be washed up? But I don't know. I have to figure that out. Let's see. Jeez, I really do hope they make the playoffs. And all I
Me
know
too.
is if I do win the jersey, because I am making a little comeback, it's either going to be Harrison Bryant or it's going to be Justin Herbert. Oh man, I need glasses because I think I got like a
I'll be
sty,
so
dude.
happy to buy. I'd be so happy to buy you a Harrison Bryant jersey.
Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna be that douche that has sunglasses on in the room or in like a building. My
You
sty
have
is bothering
sunglasses?
me. Yeah, because my sty is bothering me. I fucking got one like 3 days ago, I think.
What's a sty?
Fuck. It's kind of like it's like something kind of. I think of it as more like a kind of like a clogged pore in a way. From what people, I've
Oh
never had
really?
it before, so it's just like you get something like by your eye or under your eye, like inside.
Oh, okay, got it, got
Yeah,
it.
and it's just it kind of not trying to be mean or anything, but it's gonna make me kind of like look like my eyes gonna be like messed up like Julio Urias. Sorry, I just
Oh,
had
so it's
to.
kind of.
Like,
I mean,
yeah, it's
me and
gonna be
him were
like that
born on
kind
the
of
same
thing.
day and year. You know that? Me and him are tight like that.
He just doesn't know it yet. He doesn't know
it
we're best friends.
yet. He owes me a ring.
You're not down if we go to a fucking Dodger game just to go.
Where's my
I don't know.
ring?
Yeah, you need to have a sign that says something like that. Oh
Like
man,
everyone born on August 12, 1996, please.
imagine you guys were born in the same time too. Which I'm pretty sure you
I
can
know.
find that shit out for him.
I could
I
find
I,
that.
I,
Well,
I guarantee you it's not hard.
I was born at 3:05 p.m. All right, let me see if I can find it. Birth time. No one ever. It's gonna be so weird.
Everyone that's watching is like, okay, that's a little stalkerish, a little creepy. Okay, so let's
Wait,
go and
what?
go. No, like people watching, they're gonna be like, okay, that's or listening, they're gonna be like, okay, that's
Yeah,
not like creepy at all. Okay, so
yeah, I
let's
can't
go ahead
find
and
it.
get
I think it is
ready
creepy.
for our VIX picks, but also, so right now the standings are Andrew with 5 points. He got his upset pick. That was the only way he got, any points because he missed 4 picks. He must have been drunk or something. Benefits me. What's it called?
I'll take
After
it.
once he sent me the picks too, I was like, what the fuck is he? Like I got him too. I'm like, he's missing some, but I'm like, oh fuck it, I'll leave it. If he texts me, he texts me. The crazy thing is that he actually remembered those two games where it was the Cardinals and the Rams. So imagine if he didn't even remember those. He would have had like 6
Yeah.
games that he missed. So he's still in the lead at 5 points. You're still in second with 4. Once Andrew overtook you, you haven't really made any ground, to
I
be
haven't.
honest.
This is the week
And
that starts to
then
change, though.
I finally started making some ground because I won this week, and I got the upset pick with the Cardinals. Thank God. Now I have 3 points. So I'm just a point away. So just a 1 week of beating you guys in records, and hopefully an upset pick. But I don't know. It's gonna start getting harder now for upset picks, and maybe
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of too what needs to be the like the numbers to be like what's being considered an upset pick. You get me?
Yes.
Like, are we gonna
When
go
the
off
team
of
is
like what Vegas?
when the team is favored
Yeah, like by a certain
by
amount of points or something. So I'm
yes.
gonna figure that out, or I don't know, maybe the halfway point is coming up anyways for
Yeah.
football. So maybe after this week will be the last time we do that, and then after that we'll go for based off of whatever like Vegas is saying. We'll have a certain
Yeah.
cutoff because I know when I do these on Sunday, and sometimes when I check them when we do the episodes either Wednesday or Thursday, the numbers are different. Because early
Right.
on, it was the Chiefs were favored by 21, 22 points against the Jets. Now that's only 19 and a half. Oh, shit. I gave you that one. Well, what did you have for your Chief one anyways? 'Cause
I
already
actually didn't hear
gave
that.
it
I
to
was
you.
yawning. I'm sorry. I didn't hear
Oh,
that. I was
okay.
yawning.
Okay, then I'll leave it at that. Then we'll hear it when we do the actual picks. Okay, so let's go ahead and go. So this week we had obviously four teams had to bye: the Cardinals, Texans, Jags, and Washington. And also congrats to Coach Ron Rivera. His cancer
It beat
is
cancer.
yeah,
Congrats.
it's in remission.
Yeah.
One hell of a guy. Seems like players coach. Everyone loves him. Pretty impressive to still coach. You already know that takes a lot out of you
Incredibly
to
hard,
coach
especially
and still have chemo.
in a pandemic too, when you could get it and ultimately die. Because crazy. It's very inspirational. We love the fight. Ronnie Vera, just tip of my hat to you. I love people who endure. I admire and draw a great inspiration from people who endure such difficult obstacles in their life. One of them being one of the worst things in the world than cancer. So I commend you for that, Ronnie Vera. Congrats. I wish you the best. And
Also too, we
hopefully
gotta
cancer stays in remission.
applaud his team. We
Yeah,
haven't heard anything about COVID. No one got COVID. Obviously, if they had COVID and they, went to the, to the facility, they could potentially, spread it to Ron Rivera, which his immune system is going to be weak due to chemo. So congrats to them too, being there for their head coach and not being stupid and not partying and doing anything else like that. Or,
that we
who
know
knows,
of.
they could, yeah, that we know of, but I feel like they probably all, made sure that they didn't do anything dumb like that and
Yeah, there's
kept good
leaders in there.
distance. Yeah, so like I said, I like everything that's happening with that team, and we talked about too the name, the Washington football team has a nice ring to it now. We're starting to get used to
I
it.
like it.
I'm fine. I'm
like
fine
it.
with it. The colors look clean. Everything, the whole scheme looks clean, and yeah, it looks like better days in Washington. And it's crazy, and they can still win the division this year. Maybe they try to go after for Fitzmagic. Hopefully, I kind of want to see that, to be honest. I think that would be awesome to see. But okay, so let's go ahead. Damn, I knew that was another thing I forgot. Well, we'll go over it after we're done with the football segment, and I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about with the whole Justin Turner. I totally forgot about that. So especially since we brought up COVID right now. So we'll go ahead and talk about it after we're done with Vic's picks for a little bit. Okay, so let's go straight into Thursday night football. Hopefully at least the audio might be up. Okay, so we got the Falcons facing off against Teddy Bridgewater and his Panthers, Carolina Panthers. No Christian McCaffrey just yet. Who do you have and what are your points?
Panthers -2.5.
Okay, you got that one right on the nose.
Hey.
They have the Panthers -2.5. I went with the Panthers as well. Let me see, might as well write it. And I'm pretty sure what's his name is going with them too.
Andrew.
Yeah, I guarantee it. I don't see why he would change it. He has his guarantee picks that he always stays the same. So that's probably a clean sweep. If it's not, then I don't know. Maybe we got to check on Andrew, see if he's okay. Okay, so.
Did he ever wake up?
Did he ever wake up? Okay, so we both got the Panthers. Okay, so now we have, the Patriots who surprisingly have a losing record. Is it really Tom Brady or who's? It's crazy to think that Belichick is actually struggling right now with this team. Heading over to face off against the Buffalo Bills, who haven't really been impressive lately. Josh Allen is starting to lose his credit for MVP.
His mojo, yeah.
Especially with the way they played against the Jets. If
I'm
anyone
gonna beat
predicts
him.
the Jets, if anyone picks the Jets
That's
for
an
an upset
automatic win,
pick,
right?
I'm giving that as an
Automatic win.
automatic win, and
Okay.
obviously you get your upset. So you'll get the. I'll
The
make it
full
just 2
points.
points. I'll make it just two
Okay.
points. But what's it called? I was like, shit. And the funny thing was, I had a weird feeling for whatever reason. Sometimes, like, it just feels like they play the Bills somewhat pretty good. I don't know why. Maybe it's because the Bills don't take them serious,
Division.
and I understand.
Yeah.
And yeah, the whole thing with the division too. So who do you have for this, and what are your points?
I have Bills -6.
Okay, so they have Bills -3.5. I went with the Bills as well. It just looks like the Patriots are just depleted right now, and there's a good chance we don't see them in the playoffs unless they pull through and make some trades.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I'm just trying to think of, is there anything they could really get? Maybe more weapons. Maybe Will Fuller, who supposedly there's connections with him and the Packers. So that might help you for fantasy.
That would help me tremendously.
So hopefully he could go there. Okay, so I don't know who Andrew would pick, because sometimes Andrew picks Patriots. I don't think he hates the Patriots now after Tom Brady left. So, this one's probably actually I don't know if he's gonna go full on, because does he pick his Rams all the time?
I'm not sure.
Me either. So I'll wait till he texts us. So now we have I'll say Cleveland. I
Rams
don't
and
know why I was gonna say
Dolphins.
Cleveland. So when we have the LA Rams going against the Dolphins, who
The stinking Dolphins.
stinky Dolphins, with Tua making his debut. Who do you have? What's the points? And give me just
And
a little bold
why?
prediction of Tua. Like, what do you think Tua is going to throw for? How
Sure.
many yards and how many touchdowns or
Sure.
interceptions?
I got Rams -3, and I think Tua will go 225 with 2 touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown. No, 1 rushing touchdown and 1 throwing touchdown.
Okay. Tua, I'm writing that down because if you get pretty
For
close,
freezing
I'm gonna
cold
be like,
take
that's pretty.
purposes.
What's it called? I went with the Rams too. It just seems easy. This seems like an easy pick. If it was Fitzmagic, I could see this being an upset. But since now it's going to be Tua's show, we got to see how the team is going to respond to Fitz being benched, and
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be that great. He has to go against Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, and I think honestly they're going to have shitty field position anyways because of how great the Rams punter is. So
Oh, he's good,
I
Johnny
think,
Hecker.
yeah, so he's not going to probably have the best field position, and I could see potentially maybe a safety in the forecast for the Rams.
Okay.
So, and I think he'll end up picking the Rams. I don't see why he would not pick the Rams. If he doesn't, he's not a real fan. I'm just kidding. Okay, so this is going to be a very interesting one. This one, I honestly could be coin toss.
Is it Steelers Ravens?
No. I have the Colts. The Colts heading over to Detroit to face off against the Lions.
Very good question.
And who do you have for your points?
This is a coin toss. It's very tough. I'm gonna go with the Colts. Colts -2.5.
Oh, you got that one too. Right on the nose.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. You have a better defense.
Yeah, this one's gonna be kind of hard because it's like, do we get shitty Phillip Rivers or do we get at least good enough to win Phillip Rivers?
Good enough to win. 9 kids, Phillip Rivers.
9 kids.
10 kids.
So it's going to be interesting to see how he plays, but I think it's going to have to be. They're going to need to rely on the run to at least open it up.
Sure.
Jonathan Taylor, I feel like maybe will have a big game. Hopefully, Galladay has a good game too. He produced okay. I was expecting a lot more, to be honest. I thought he was going to go around the 20 point range again, especially against the Falcons. But I think he got me like 16, 17. I'm like, that's still pretty solid. You sure as hell could use that. Honestly, just saying. Okay. In that scenario, I'm sorry. I'm the Rays and you're the Pirates in that scenario. All right, so let's go ahead and go to Tennessee versus the Bengals. Who do you
My lock of
have?
the week. This is my lock of the
Lock
week,
of the
Chuck. And I got Bengals -25. No, Titans -12.
Okay. All right. So I got. Well, they have Titans -6. I went with the Titans as well. That seems pretty easy. I don't think this is going to be probably one of the tougher defensive matchups for young Joe Burrow. We're going to really see how he performs, and this will probably be the next. We're really going to see how he develops. I think these next 2 weeks because I think he's going to get slaughtered against the Titans, and I want to see how he's going to bounce back next week. So this is going to be an interesting week for his progression, and so hopefully he does good because they wasted the number 1 pick on him, and so far he's actually at least playing good and keeping them in the game. So
Right.
I got Titans as well, and who the fuck's going to stop Derrick Henry? That's the one big thing too. So
Man among boys.
yeah, he's scary. And he seems really cool and really down to earth too. But like on the football field, saying,
That's even scarier. That's even scarier.
Yeah.
That's even scarier.
I'm like, yeah, I'm
He's
not
like-
getting in his way.
He's the guy from the longest yard who kills anybody on impact, but he's you know what I'm talking about? I think I made him shit himself guy.
Oh, he broke it in my nose.
I think I made him
He
shit
did
himself.
it. He did it on purpose. No, he didn't. What about me, crew? You are my friend too. Now go to sleep. Okay. Just keep coloring. Oh man. Okay, so yeah, like I don't know, like that guy is just crazy, and they're gonna be able to afford him for years and years to come. It's a good position to be if you're Tennessee fans. I think they still might be missing a few pieces for to be a serious contender and for the Super Bowl, but you like where they're going.
Yeah,
they're the Rays of football. Rays of football right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the Las Vegas Raiders heading to Cleveland. Who do you have?
I had the Browns -3.5.
Okay, so they got Browns -2.5. Shit, I still need to figure out my upset pick. And yeah, I went Browns too. The Raiders defense can't stop anyone. Surprisingly, for whatever reason, I was hyping him up. He's been actually getting stopped a lot. I think he's been getting double teamed a lot. Max Crosby. He needs to wake up and get more involved. If he gets more involved, this could be a closer game. Clean Farrell's actually looking a little more better, but he's not very good. He's good on the stopping the run, but regarding just getting to the quarterback, he's not the best.
He's not that good.
But I get why they went with him. He was more for the culture, and it makes sense. They're starting to build a winning culture in Vegas. But yeah, this one seems easy, Browns, and I think Harrison Bryant will go off with Higgins as well.
I see.
That was easy.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure Drew's gonna go Browns. I don't see why he wouldn't. Okay. So let's go ahead and go to same thing with the Titans one too. The Lions Colts one, I don't know what he's gonna do. So I told him to him, like, you're fucking up your chances of winning because you don't want to pick on
because you're drunk. Yeah.
He's told me too. He's drunk on some of these picks. Like when he finally makes them, I'm like, I believe that, to be honest. Okay, so let's go ahead. So we have the Vikings heading over to Lambeau to face off against the Packers.
Packers -7. This is easy.
This is a no-brainer. Aaron Rodgers always has Kirk Cousins' number. It could be a little bit closer, depending if Dalvin Cook is going to play. I hope he plays. I could really use his 20-plus fantasy points. So this one's no-brainer right here. Fuck, which one am I going to pick for my upset?
I already know. It was hard, but I picked one that seemed like the most likely.
I'm like looking at it right now. Actually, no, yeah, I think I know which one to go with. Because we'll try to do it to where like I have to pick while we're going. So it doesn't so it's not like cheating. Like I had time to think about it. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to, it's like, this is easy. This is my upset right here. We have the Jets face off against the Chiefs. How bad are they going to get killed?
I have the Chiefs -20.
Really close. They have Chiefs minus 19.5.
Oh god.
The only reason I don't think it's going to be any higher is because they're going to bench Patrick Mahomes. So if you have any Chiefs players, there's a good chance, fantasy-wise, once they go up by like 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, they're being taken out of the game because no way in how the Jets are coming back. No way in how Sam Darnold could win this. Jets defense is atrocious. Everything about them is just bad. So
It's just
No.
bad. They have the worst offense in the league. Actually, the Jets defense is like middle of the pack. They're okay.
yeah, they're surprisingly okay because I know also too what's it called, the Giants. The Giants are the same way. Giants actually I think have a
the
top 10
defense
defense.
actually, they do.
They're really good. So I guess that Blake Martinez signing makes sense. It's actually being taken
When you have
advantage of.
Dexter Lawrence, when you have Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, Blake Martinez, good things happen. But yeah.
So clean sweep, obviously Chiefs. Unless do you want to go Jets? If the Jets
No.
upset and you say Jets, I'll give you 5 points. I'll give you a huge ass lead. You sure? Come
No.
on, say the Jets.
No, leave me alone.
We'll tell Andrew. Well, hey, if you say the Jets, I'll give you 5 points. If they win.
If they win,
Sweep. Because I know he'll be a smart ass and be like, well, you said I have to just say the Jets. Okay, so this is gonna be an interesting matchup. Oh, actually, this will be my upset. So we have the Steelers versus the Ravens.
I have the Ravens -3.
Oh, okay. They have Ravens -3.5. I'm going with the Steelers. I actually believe in this defense. The offense, they got to get Juju more involved.
In the league.
And the crazy thing is they lost Bush too.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Bush, right? It's Devin Bush.
Yeah, Devin Bush, yes. But they took Bud Dupree and TJ Watt. So big deal, okay?
So I think and especially with Big Ben there, he takes the offense to a whole nother level. Yeah, compared to Mason Rudolph and
I hate Big Ben
Duck Hodges
and his MAGA slurs.
Big Ben is fucking hilarious. Big Ben, I give him props though for coming out and being like, I had an addiction. What kind of addiction? A porn addiction. I had to beat my meat every day. I'm like, damn. Give him props. I guarantee there's a lot of people that got that addiction during quarantine. Oh man. Okay, so let's go. This is gonna be interesting because I really want to see what's the name's gonna go with on that game. I feel Ravens though. I feel like he's gonna go Ravens. Andrew. Okay, so I put my upset. I have your upset on there. I got your lock of the week. Right. What's your ups? Hold up. Wait, what was your upset again?
You haven't came up on it yet.
Oh, okay. I thought. Okay, I think I know who you have for the upset. 'Cause I think they're my second pick. Okay, so now we have the Chargers heading to Denver. Now we have the 2 young quarterbacks going to battle each other. Yeah. Obviously, the Broncos don't have Von Miller to put pressure on Justin Herbert, but it really hasn't mattered anyways because he's already gone against really good teams with really good pass rushers anyways. So
yeah,
no big deal for Herbert.
Yeah, this one was a hard one per se because they both have their pros and cons about this matchup. I like Denver defense over the Chargers, but Chargers have a better offense than the Broncos. Offense is garbage. So in terms of everything, I'm gonna stick with. I don't know. I don't even know. I'm gonna stick with just for the home team and they get 3 points automatically. I'm going with Broncos. They play Mile High. It's a lot different atmosphere. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I mean the Broncos.
I'm gonna go with the home team, the Chargers.
I'm gonna go with the Rodgers. With the Badgers.
All right, so Broncos. That was an interesting one. I honestly really thought you were gonna go with the Chargers, like me. I don't think they're gonna be able to stop Justin Herbert. Herbert, come on, I'm banking on you dropping another 40 points in fantasy.
And still lose.
and still lose. Hey, he's gonna be my
Who cares?
quarterback
It's
next
fantasy
year.
though, right?
Yeah, I don't care. It'd be good though to win at least something. But I guess we won the number 1 pick, so I should just be lucky that I got that. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to this. Can be a very interesting game. I don't know how it's gonna really go. This could be somewhat of a coin toss too, depending on who the Saints have, if they're gonna be healthy. So we have the Saints heading to Chicago to face off against the Bears.
That
do you
is my
have?
upset. The Bears is my upset pick. -3. Obviously,
Oh,
yeah,
what? Interesting. I
yeah.
really thought it was gonna be the Eagles game. I really thought it was gonna be that one.
There's an Eagles game.
Eagles Cowboys. I thought it was gonna be that game.
You think the Cowboys are going to beat the Eagles?
Cowboys are favored.
Really? No, they're not.
They are. We'll get to it right now. We saw one more game and then we're at that one.
Anyways, all right. Anyways, so yeah, my upset pick is the Bears to win. They have no business
Interesting.
winning, but I feel like they're gonna win.
Do you know if the Saints do they have their wideouts?
No
Michael
clue.
Thomas and
Let me
Emmanuel
check. Let me
Sanders?
see. Let me see right here. Right here. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Impactable injuries. Thomas is questionable, and Sanders has COVID.
Oh, okay, so potentially. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead. I'll just stick with the Saints. I'll stick with my pick, so it's not like I'm trying to flip flop. I should have looked into it, but I'll just go with them. I don't know. Just maybe Drew Brees will go off on this team. I'm not really a big fan of the Bears' offense, anyways. So it's just really their defense. Okay, so we got 3 games left. My phone's close to dying. I don't know how it's going to be on this new phone. So we have the 49ers versus the Seahawks. Do the Seahawks bounce back, or do the 49ers win and get their 5th win?
I'm gonna go with the Seahawks -3. I think they bounce back. I don't want to say last week at Arizona was a fluke, but something did not go their way, and out of pure inconvenience, they lost.
Okay.
But like I always say, if they should have won, they would have won. In that case, of course, they didn't win. They didn't deserve to win because of that minor inconvenience. But I expect that not to happen again. So I'm gonna go with that.
But DK Metcalf, that guy's scary. I would not
That
want
guy's
to be
scary.
chased down by him.
Jeez, no.
What's it called? Okay, so you got another one right. You had the Charger one too with the points, but
Oh yeah,
you just didn't have the Chargers.
wrong team.
Yeah, wrong team. But yeah, I think that was a fluke too. I just don't know why. I just feel like the Cardinals know how to just play them really tough, and especially with Kyler Murray finally having
Yeah.
a number 1 wideout, I think that's going to help too. So I was lucky with that one. I got scared though because after that game, because obviously it was a World Series game at that day, I was just like, oh, we lost. At least get my damn upset pick right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Seahawks bounce back. 49ers aren't the best defensive. Well, they're still okay defensively, but they're not as good as they used to be. And a lot of people are now really starting to question Jimmy Garoppolo. Is he the guy? And that's gonna be very interesting for Kyle Shanahan. Maybe he tries to trade with the Falcons and get Matt Ryan. I don't know what's gonna happen. Just imagine Matt Ryan on that team. That'd be interesting, but they don't have the Falcons. I would say have better weapons than the 49ers. Would you agree on the whiteout side of things?
The 49ers had better weapons than the what?
No, the Falcons have better wideouts, right, than the 49ers?
Yes. It's not even close.
Scratching. But like overall offense, you would say 49ers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then the Falcons?
Yeah, well, like running game, counting them.
Tough. Yeah, because
Right
the Falcons' running game seems pretty non-existent, and it was actually so bad that they're trying not to do good, like with Todd Gurley scoring a touchdown.
Yeah,
it's very Falcon of them, by the way.
Yep, very Falcon.
I like the 49ers offense because they're just so crafty and tricky. Matt Ryan just chucks the ball downfield and hopes for the best. To be honest.
Yeah, he does. Basically, at this point in his career.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is an interesting one. I was surprised that they were really favored too. So we got the Cowboys heading over to Philadelphia to face off against the Eagles.
Interesting. I don't know why. It's not. Cowboys are horrible. Their quarterback is
No,
Nucci or
No, I know, but it's interesting that they actually still favorite the Cowboys.
I don't know where
Probably
you're
the points
looking at.
after. Why does it say
Probably
something
like-
different?
Probably like in 1982 or something like that. But no, I got Eagles minus 7.5.
Damn, you got another point right, just wrong team from what
You're
the
serious?
Williams. Yeah,
Oh god.
you've gotten. I'll go and count those. So you've gotten 5 this week. Impressive. You usually only get like 2 or 3 maybe. I'm going Eagles 2. Cowboys are just atrocious, especially if Andy Dalton's not going to play. I don't even know who the hell the backup is, and I don't really care. One of the backups could even be us. I wouldn't be surprised if you said you're dressing or you're suiting up for the Cowboys. I just
If
got
I'm
good
stressing,
luck, man. I mean, just good luck. Who is it? Who's the?
Ben DiNucci?
Don't know who he
Exactly.
is, but I'll
It
pray for
sounds
you.
like a meme, right? His name sounds
Yes,
like
it
a
does.
meme, right?
It does.
Ben DiNucci.
Sounds like he should be a head of a mob family. You'll come to me
Mom.
on the day of my
For real.
daughter's wedding. You ask for this favor, and he has the whole chair with the cat or whatever, the little swivel chair with maybe some
He's like,
whiskey or
yeah.
something. Yeah, good luck, man. I don't know what to say. I'll pray for you. I don't know. Hope it's worth it. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the last one. So Monday Night Football, we got the Bucks facing off against the Giants. Hopefully Daniel Jones doesn't get sniped. Hopefully they found the shooter. Because geez,
Oh yeah.
God damn. That's 2020 in a bombshell right there.
Yep.
That play right there is 2020.
It's a visual. Yeah, it's a visual representation of how life is going for a lot of us.
So this is
That was
easy.
crazy.
I know Andrew's going Giants because fuck TB12. But are you gonna go that route too?
No, I'm going Bucks.
Me too.
I know Andrew's
I'm trying to
gonna
get
be
points.
like Giants. I'm trying to get points.
I'm trying to
I
win.
got
So you
Bucks.
guys, you guys buy me a jersey.
I got Bucks. I got Bucks minus 7.
Well, you got it closer. They have minus 10.5. I'm surprised. Why minus 7? You think they'll just throw in the backups after at some point?
Nah, I feel like though
Giants will.
Tom Brady.
Oh, because the
Tom
Giants
Brady
defense
has the ghost. No, Tom Brady has like ghosts against the Giants. He has like personal vendetta against the Giants, and I don't know, just slow his play down. I'm guessing it'll be one of those games. The turf
okay.
at MetLife.
The turf. Oh shit!
Right.
Watch if he gets hurt, then that's when they're gonna start taking it serious.
The whole NFL is gonna be like, oh my god, Tom Brady, he's gonna die out there.
Tom Brady's gonna sue us, so we have to do something.
Exactly.
Which he probably could. He probably could, and he probably would have a case, to be honest, with so many other players getting hurt. Yeah. And you never know. At his age, that's career ending for sure. At his age,
yeah.
And for younger players, that's career altered. That's gonna alter someone's career for sure.
Yeah.
Especially these younger guys. But okay, so that's it for all of Vic's picks. I'm gonna obviously get Andrew's picks. Hopefully gets all of them in and not just 4 or 5. I was lost. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I'm like, you're a grown ass man. You could bring in your picks. You could submit them yourself.
You can do it.
Okay, so all right, so we have a few more minutes because my phone's at like 10%. I know at the last 10%, my phone battery dies quick. So we forgot to cover it. I just really remembered too when we we're talking about Ron Rivera. So the whole thing with COVID and at the World Series with Justin Turner testing positive, that's so crazy. It's such a 2020 thing that would happen.
It is. Yeah.
And, we talked about it earlier too, like really briefly. What if, obviously if he would have infected more players and they probably would have pushed the game back maybe a few days. Who knows if they want to be safe, push it back a week. Blake Snell maybe goes game 7. It's and then it could be a totally different story. The Rays are celebrating a championship, their first ever, compared to the Dodgers. What did you think about that whole thing? What did you think about with Mookie being like, it's okay, like I'm fine, let him be on here. And also too, I saw other things where people were reporting being like, yeah, it's fine because he's going to be a free agent and there's no guarantees he's going to be back with the team. So just let him celebrate with the team. Do you think it was stupid and of them to actually let him just go ahead and go out there, especially because it's not just players, not just coaching staff, it's players' families, their kids, loved ones are all there. So potentially you could risk him taking it, going back somewhere. Someone takes it to their household and someone gets sick and God forbid something happens like death or anything like that. So
yeah, I
what
see
did you
both
think?
sides. I see both sides. I would, if I was sick or asymptomatic, I would want to be out there for selfish reasons, obviously, but that's me. I'm sure JT wanted to be out there to celebrate too, and he did. I also see the side that it could be endangering someone else. I could also point to it could be a false positive. I could also point to um, I know nothing about what goes inside in there, obviously, besides JT was tested positive and he went on the field afterwards. That's all I know. That's all I'm ever going to know until things open up. But
And we probably might not know the whole story. We're not going
never.
to.
It's a little bit reckless for the knowledge that I know right now. It's a little bit reckless because I do not know if players' families, friends were all tested and clear of it too. Or who knows if they're of any sense, but I'm not. I was thrown back about it because it's very dampening when they won yesterday. So I am in a mix about it because I see both sides, and considering that he has been around the team for over 24 hours, obviously. But I don't see the purpose. It just goes against the whole season's policy
Protocols?
on their stance. Yeah, it's like, you got it. A month ago, if you got it, you'd have to be out for at least 2 weeks if you're feeling up to it. Because there's some players in the beginning of the season who didn't come back and still aren't the same. Like Freddie Freeman had it. He said it was one of the toughest things. Yohan Moncada had it. Said his body was never the same afterwards. And a few other players.
And also
so
too, how is he getting it too? That's the thing.
Yeah.
How did he get it? Who else had it there? Besides, I just remember too, besides just players, families, and friends and all that, you have the media. Media has families. They go home, This could be a whole nother like clusterfuck, to be honest, but I guess good thing the season's finally over. Move on. But I don't know, at least he could have wore a mask. Like if they're gonna go ahead and let him celebrate, and there's pictures of him not even wearing a mask. So I'm like, okay, you tested positive, you had to get taken out of the game in the 6th. Wear a mask, dude, just to be on the safe side for everyone else, respect everyone else and everything like that. Because I'm not sure, are they gonna test all the families before they can leave?
Well,
I'm assuming they might. I'm assuming they are, but who knows if they even do? And then there's a huge. Are they testing fans? Because what if someone in the media bumps into someone like a fan somehow something happens, and then that fan has it, that fan spreads it, and someone dies. What happens now? Like, how do you explain that, Rob Manfred? I don't know how they do that. So it's just like, solution. No one wins the title this year. It's okay. Rob Manfred sounded hammered.
You just want, yeah. He sounded scared.
And like he just seemed like, what the fuck what are you on, dude? What are you on, and can you give me some? Because
I want some of that.
I want some of that because I kind of want to forget this right now just for a little bit. But yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. They're really gonna have to think about it, and like I get it from Mookie's side, and I get it from the other Dodger reporters being like, of course he wants to be out there. He's a free agent. There's not even a fully guarantee he's coming back. This is potentially his last game with the Dodgers, but I'm like, okay, but wear the mask at least, and he wasn't wearing the mask. I'm like, okay. And then Dave Roberts all buddy with them, and he's hugging everyone and all that. So I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I hope you guys don't fucking get mad at JT if something happens. Like I said, God forbid something happens to your family member or anything like that, and you're gonna blame JT.
Well, I obviously hope
you knew what happened.
does happen. Yeah.
I hope so too. I hope it's just best case, I hope it's just a false positive, because if it's not a false positive, this really looks bad on the MLB because, their whole policy, it took them so long to even get the season going because of the policy. And it's like you allowed the guy on the field. Like, I know they were like, oh, we tried to tell him you have to stay isolated, all that kind of stuff. But you couldn't have like security, just keep him off the field. It could have just been as simple as that. And I get, people are going to be like, oh, that's bullshit because let him celebrate. But if you're trying to follow your policy to a T, technically you shouldn't even be out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to go into logistics of all that. I only know what I know, and I only can give you how I feel about it. So that's that. Well, let me turn on the lights.
He's going to go out with the bang. He got the championship, and, everyone's always going to remember him for having COVID in Game 6. That could go down. I hope he says something about that if he makes the Hall of Fame.
Game.
The COVID game. Oh, shit.
Oh, God.
That is, oh, fuck. Tampa players are going to have to freaking quarantine for a little, too.
Yeah.
That sucks, but... it's going to be interesting. I'm pretty sure we'll have more in-depth knowledge about it maybe next week, but who knows? They might not even give us anything. They might just try to chew this under the rug and just be like, forget it. Or do the Men in Black thing, erase our memory or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I think that covers everything in this episode. Very jam-packed.
Yeah.
Like I said, we got to make sure we tag and do stuff with Carlos and all them because, they won. At least show people, we're a man of our words. Yeah, it's just, we'll get them next year. That's all I have to say about that. And hopefully, at least I want to at least win a jersey. So football gods, help me with my picks.
Not happening.
Help me pick the Jets in one week. But, give me a sign. Give me a sign to pick the Jets. I don't know what the sign's gonna be, but
Mm-hmm.
But also, I'm kind of happy. That was Vin Scully, huh? Was it?
No.
Oh, it sounded kind of like him. Happy that he got to witness another one. There's a few other people that I'm happy. I wouldn't doubt it. He's old. Let him sleep. Let Vin Scully sleep, okay? It's 2020. We have to protect him as much as possible.
Right.
Is on the clock security. No one can even get close to his door.
They'll explode once they come 60 feet in.
He has like the defense system the White House has in Area 51.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'll do the outro. So thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to or watching this week's episode of the Rooks. I'm Xavier.
And I'm Vic.
And this was, a great episode. And, like I said, we'll get them next year. And I still haven't decided what I'm going to do for my solo because we haven't dropped the solo for like 2 weeks, but I've been kind of busy.
Oh, yeah.
In World Series. So we'll get back on that and I'll figure out something. I don't know, maybe a Q&A episode again, or we'll figure it out. But
are you going to go or you got to call in?
I got to look because I don't really want to touch my phone. It's just posted up right by my laptop. So I'll look and I'll text you right now.
Yeah, text me. All right,
Okay.
then. All right. See you later. Bye.
See you.